Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spawncast episode 160. Got everyone back, actually. Everyone's here. Yeah.
Hey.
Everyone is here. Very cool. We did have this past week a birthday with MVG, so happy birthday to MVG. Let them know it's that.
Thank you.
35 years young, right?
Yeah.
That's right, man.
It was 27 actually.
27. That's the one.
How was your week, MVG?
It was good, man. I had a good birthday. All things considered, it was a really good day. So I really appreciate it. I got some new toys as well, which is fun. But yeah, had a good week, had a good day. So I appreciate the shout out.
Yeah.
Shout outs to April birthdays.
Hell yeah.
Very cool. And you finished Final Fantasy VII this week. So
I did finish it. I liked it. I don't know about the ending though, but I liked it.
Okay, very good, very good. Then we have Miss Click. How's it going? You had a marathon stream to finish that up.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this won't be too bad. No, it was bad. It was great though.
you had fun playing it.
Yeah. I definitely. I will say, like, that final boss that had me sweating. I was like, man, this is already something for the first part. For the first part. However many parts there are. Yeah.
You're good. And then we have Evan. You played Trials of Mana, so you'll have some opinions on that.
Yep.
Very good. You actually already finished it.
Through to the first time they run the credits, not the extra stuff, but yeah.
Okay, cool. So you'll give us an idea on that too. I've been playing it as well, but I know OJ play. I don't know if anyone else play Trials of Mana.
I picked it up. I haven't played it yet, only because RPGs for me, man, like I need like a little bit of a breather before I jump in from one to another. But I want to hear your thoughts about. I want to hear your thoughts about it because I mean I loved Second Densetsu 3 on the Super NES. So I mean let's hear some thoughts on it.
We got Jordan. Jordan, what's up?
Not much. Hanging out. Finally started playing some Persona.
Ooh.
So
that's nice. Only another 120 hours to go, right?
Absolutely. But I will say, I think this is probably the most stylized game I've ever played, and I love it. I think it's really cool.
Did you play Persona, just regular Persona 5 or no?
I've never played a Persona game.
Wow. Okay. Wow. So you that's the first time you played Final Fantasy 7, basically, and now you're going right to the first time playing Persona.
I'm trying to touch all my bases, you know.
Wow.
Trying to try all new things.
Okay. All right. Very cool. Very cool. Then Max, what's going on? Dreamcast guy.
Good. I just finished Final Fantasy VII on hard mode. Wowzers.
Yeah, I was against the Hell House, and that thing is annoying me real bad. So
it's super easy. Poison. It turns out that if you poison him, he just boils him down.
Interesting. Okay,
Almost
poison.
every boss. Yeah, just get the strongest version of poison, the Bioega, and just it boils him, man.
Interesting. Okay, cool. I'll try that one then. I'll try that. Then we got OJ, Player Essence. What's going on, man?
What's up, man? Been playing a lot of Trials of Mana and been playing some Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm Road to Boruto.
When did that
Switch?
When did that come? That came out this week too?
This week, yeah, it came out recently this week. So I've been playing that, seeing how that port runs. So I guess I can talk about that.
Oh wow, okay. I forgot. I think Trials, man. I didn't even notice that on the eShop, to be honest.
I'm surprised. I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
Then Sean is back.
Hello.
How's it going, Sean?
Not too bad.
Not too bad. You have a good week?
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah. I heard you're playing Resident Evil, so.
Yep.
Revelations, one of the best Resident Evils, one of the most underrated Resident Evil games of all time.
Thank you.
It's fantastic.
It is. It truly is.
I played it on the 3DS.
I played it on the 3DS, the Wii U, and now I'm playing through it again on the Switch.
That'll be the three-peat. That's what I did too.
What do you think about part 2?
I think it's okay. It's obviously very different. But I don't hate it like a lot of people do. I don't think it's not as cohesive as the first game is.
Yeah, I agree.
Part 2 is just not very good. Is that what you meant to say?
Whoa.
I mean, the multiplayer was actually pretty fun in part 2.
I thought the multiplayer was neat. I thought that was fun.
Part 2's all right. It's
a 7 out of 10. It's fine.
And isn't that that's where you get to use the IR blaster, right? To reload? Doesn't everyone?
Oh yeah.
Everyone uses that on the no.
Right.
Okay.
Graphically, it looks good on Switch. Like the part 2 looks great.
Yeah. All right. Very cool. Well, Sean, why don't you kick us? Actually, you know what, Nate?
Yeah.
Nate the Hate's here.
Yep.
I think he's here. Yes. Okay. You have a good week.
Yeah.
Yeah. You check out some indie games.
I posted footage of Nirvana pilot Yume.
Wow.
A very weird 80s style racing game with narrative sex scenes.
Can't wait to hear about that one. All right, let's go. Let's start off with Sean. See what's here last week. What were you playing this week, Sean? What were we playing?
This week I really just played older stuff. I actually busted out my fully backwards compatible PlayStation 3 because I just wanted to play some random stuff. I played Never Dead for the first time, which is
why?
Because I owned it and I was like looking through my PS3 games and I was like, what the fuck is this? And it has like a generic GameStop case and it just has the disc inside. So like I didn't know what it was and I was just like, all right. And so I checked it out and I was like, yeah, this is wow. All right. Good job, Konami. I played a bunch of Legends of WrestleMania, which will actually translate into one of the topics. And then I've been playing Resident Evil Revelations. Nothing new. Just been playing just random stuff. I was actually pissed off though, because I didn't realize, because the fully backwards compatible PlayStation 3, you can use a DualShock 4 on it to play games as long as it's plugged in, or you can do a system update to play them wirelessly, which is whatever. I have like a 100-foot cable or something like that. Mm-hmm. But to play PS2 games, you can't use the DualShock 4. It won't register anything. Yeah, so I'm waiting. I think actually it should have came in today. I have a knockoff DualShock, because DualShock 3s are expensive as shit. If you look at them on eBay,
I have two of them, and I'm terrified to use either of them right now.
Yeah, I had to buy some. I bought a knockoff controller. I thought it was supposed to come in today, but I don't think it did because I didn't get an alert. So yeah, that kind of sucks. I wanted to play Resident Evil Dead Aim.
Hell yeah, dude. No, yeah.
I was playing my backwards compatible PS3 the other day too, Sean. This past week I was playing Here Comes the Pain. And then it got me wanting to go get Shut Your Mouth. That just came in today.
I actually have Shut Your Mouth as well. Yeah, I'm
gonna drop that in either tonight or tomorrow and check it out, because I haven't seen this game since literally it came out. So it's been a long time. It probably aged horribly, but I thought it'd be funny to check out. These ones are kind of like, these are getting up there in price, by the way.
What,
Shut Your Mouth is like $15 to $20 on eBay.
You know, I actually looked up whichever SmackDown versus Raw was the first one to come out on the PS3. I liked it because it had all of the ECW moves in it, and it's the only game to have the Sabu triple jump moonsault off of the chair. And
it's oddly specific.
I went to, well, I mean, it's one of the coolest wrestling moves, and like nobody else does it. So like it was only valid when he was in it. But like that game is even expensive. Like it was like $20-$30 on Amazon. I was like, eBay. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, you know what's going up in price right now? 32X games. After someone released a book, I'm just trying to find some 32X games on eBay so I can test out with the Polymega that I have here. And nothing is like any cheaper than like $40 right now. It's ridiculous.
I mean, scoop up one of those Polymegas.
I'm sorry. If it makes you feel any better, most of the library kind of sucks anyway.
It's all about that Calibri and nothing else.
Oh man. Yeah. So Sean, going back to the PS3. All right.
Yep.
All right. Well, that works. What about Miss Click? A lot of Final Fantasy VII, I assume.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, you finished it up. How long did it take? How many hours you put in that?
41 hours and 2 minutes.
Nice.
Okay.
So you did a lot of the side quests, I'm sure, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did most of them, except I think I just pretty much skipped through Wall Market. That was like the weakest part of the game, especially after that dance mini game. I'm like, oh my god!
Oh, I thought the dance mini game was actually a high point for the game.
No, it was literally that and the hands, the robot hands. Like the two weakest parts for me.
What did you think about the pull-up mini game trying to beat that dude?
That took us probably 20 minutes. It wasn't too bad. It was more so of like when you're streaming it, it's just everybody in chat's like, I did this perfectly on the first try, and if you don't, you are a 5-year-old baby that doesn't deserve this game. I'm saying that nicely, because obviously they don't say that.
It took me 2
Really?
hours to do that misclick. Yeah, no joke. To get the trophy of beating Jules.
I had hatred driving me, so that's
God.
probably why.
Well, my thing is, it was the music I think that kept throwing me off. When I finally just muted the game and put on music, it was
That's
super
what some
easy.
people were. Yeah, that's what some people were saying. They're like, I had to mute the music. If I think
the
for
tempo's
me,
off.
yeah, I think for me is I was just ignoring the music, especially after that dance mini game. I was like, okay, well they can't do rhythm, right? Sorry.
Hey, the dance mini game was fun. It was a nice change of pace.
But what helped me best was the rumble. Like the rumble was strongest on the repeat of the cycle. So when you'd start the cycle over again, that's when it would vibrate the strongest. So it's like, as long as I stay with that, we're fine. But I know some of y'all don't like rumble on your controllers.
I turned it off.
I like Wall Market.
I love Wall Market.
Okay. Well, all right, Evan, hit us with it. What do you play this week?
Pretty much all Trials of Mana. Everything else has been art prior to that, but Trials of Mana hit Friday, and I just played it through.
So you finished it. You're already done with it.
Yeah.
Okay. It came out yesterday.
Oh yeah. But again, it's only to the first. It's only to the first credits. The people who watched on stream saw that after the credits roll and you get the extra content. I did a little bit of it, and I couldn't. It was so boring.
But there's stuff to do after the credits, though.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's characters and to unlock and other things you were saying.
Yep.
To do. What'd you think of the gameplay though so far? Because when I'm playing it, because I'm like 5 or 6 hours in right now, it has that action RPG feel, but it's very, very close to the original game. I'll say that.
Definitely.
It's extremely close.
I actually forgot I played a bit of the original game. When I started playing it again now, I was like, oh shit, I've been here before. And yeah, it feels exactly like that, but it's good or bad depending on how you're going to look at it. Like the story, you get to a point where you're just cringing too much with what people tell each other, and you're just like,
well, I mean, it's a story from the 90s.
Yeah, so like if you love that, you're gonna love it.
Did you have what's her name in your party? The annoying ass.
No.
Charlotte.
But you do run into her a bunch, and that is the worst voice. I was listening to it in Japanese too. It was so bad.
People were literally
the English
starting their
worse.
game.
I imagine, yeah. Because does the English
What
one
does she sound like?
does the English one have to read in the lisp as well that they have in the subtitles?
She kind of talks like this and uses different swangs for things. You know, I want this and what? And she talks like that.
Yeah, I didn't add her. I didn't pick her for mine.
She's a god tier healer though.
No, yeah, she's top tier.
She's actually really good as a healer.
I don't know a lot of their names, but I picked the main guy on the front, the main person on the front sword character.
Swordy dude.
Daggers and then magic, AoE magic.
Angela.
So that's why I went with Angela. Yeah. So that's why I went with for the start. But they shifted it from like top down so that it's third person. So they had to remove the multiplayer, which is kind of a shame, because that was actually pretty neat for the original one that had like the multiplayer. And they said they thought about online, but then they said, nah, we're not going to go probably do online multiplayer either. So it is single player, but you can shift between the characters, which works, but I feel like I would have liked to have a bit more, like they have like sliders so you can alter the behavior of your characters around you, but to be honest, they're still kind of stupid sometimes.
Yeah, I do feel like they're more active, like after having played Final Fantasy VII with all of you guys, I feel like they're more active than the AI in Final Fantasy VII even.
They are.
But
Final Fantasy VII characters will kind of just sit there and like look at a wall.
They sit there and block. They just sit there and block the whole time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you think Trials of Mana is bad in terms of that? Well, Trials of Fantasies.
I wish there was a slide for them.
It's weird. They're too aggressive in Trials of Mana. Like I'll see them run up to an enemy, and the enemy will do that thing where it puts like the red circle on the ground, and it's like, okay, I gotta step back a bit. And they're just sitting in there in the red circle, about to get hit by whatever it is.
It depends on what you set, because if you can set them to be balanced, they will escape the red circles. The one thing I noticed that they don't escape, some bosses create these dodgeable wave attacks that you have to actually do something specific to get out of, and they won't do it. They just won't.
Yeah.
So it kind of sucks.
Okay. What'd you think of it so far, OJ?
Yeah, I've been playing quite a bit of it. I think I'm about 10 hours in or so, doing a lot of the side quests, doing everything. I picked Durant, Angela, and Charlotte, and yeah, like I'm used to bad voice acting because I play a lot of weird Japanese RPGs and stuff, so I'm used to it.
I said it to Japanese voices.
Like Charlotte, and it wasn't just Charlotte. It was also this one point that happened like on a bridge, and they're like, some of they were like retreat, and I was like, all right, I'm done. They're like, Gee. And I was like, oh god, okay, let's just turn to Japanese.
That's
so
what I did.
that. Yeah, so I was like, I did that, and I'm still having a lot of fun. I'm a huge fan of the Mana series. It was actually one of the first action RPGs that I've played. So I'm so happy to see it come back. And yeah, like everything that Evan said, definitely true with it. But I like the gameplay. I like switching in terms of having the different characters, and you can switch between them at any point. That's a lot of fun. I like using, Charlotte. People hate her voice, but I like her as a character. She's cool. I always use that character back. Like, Secret of Mana, there's always those like little elven people that are way older than they actually are, And me and my brother, we would play, and he would use the main character, and I would use that little, the elven person. So I've always liked that, that type of character. So I'm having a lot of fun playing it. I think it's great. It's a lot of cool action. And I'm liking all the different equipment and magic, but they've actually added quite a bit of things. I know, John, you talked about that, but the original game, there wasn't like the weak attacks and the strong attacks. There wasn't the air combat. There wasn't some of the other stuff that they have in there, the charge attacks. So things like that added into the gameplay actually makes. And there was no dodge button in the original as well. So adding in all of that is actually pretty cool. It's pretty cool and fun that they put that in there in terms of the combat and everything. So I'm enjoying it a lot. Played a ton of it. Did you want me to talk about Naruto too? Because people have been asking about that.
You can talk about it. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so I just got that. So the game's a few. I think it came out 2016 or 2017 on PS4 and Xbox One.
Okay. So this is a port to the Switch.
Yeah, this is a port to the Switch. But what they did is they took the Road to Boruto content, which is for those who don't know, it's Naruto's son, and they put that all. They just pretty much gave you everything. But people are asking about this. They're having trouble loading it up. So if you're having trouble loading up the extra content or whatever, everyone's having that problem. But I played through, and this is made by CyberConnect. So you guys play Dragon Ball Kakarot, right? You guys, they're very flashy. CyberConnect, they're very flashy. They do a lot of, they usually make games with pretty good graphics, but the gameplay can be a little bit basic, or So
almost
it's the same.
Recycled.
Yeah, recycled. So it's the same thing here. They're very good at graphics. They're very good at cinematics. They make the battles from the anime or manga look way better than they actually were. Than they actually were, and that's the same thing here. People talk about frame rate. The frame rate's good in the game, so people are wondering like, oh, is the frame rate going to be bad? I played the first battle with, with the first Hokage versus Madara, and it worked just fine. And you're huge. You've got your big summons and everything like that, and everything worked just fine. I played through. You still have the same button inputs that you do. So if you're wondering about getting it, it is $50 though, and these games usually go on discount really soon. Now, do you get enough value for your $50? Yes. There's online play. There's free battle. There's tournament. They have all the content that's been in there, all the DLC, everything's added in there. So you're gonna get your value for it. But unless you're like a super Naruto fan, then I'm not so sure about it until it goes on discount. But I got a video tomorrow. I'll talk about it more there, so you guys can check it out tomorrow. So yeah, I already recorded it. So that's that. If you're wondering about it. But yeah, $50. But there's enough content in there. There's a lot of content.
What about Max?
I've been playing a game I can't talk about yet. It is a horror thing that's coming out next week, and I've been playing a bunch of that, and also just a lot of Final Fantasy VII. I finished my master file, so I beat it on hard. I got every dress, I got every materia mastered, I got everything. So it's been a fun time. Honestly, I think I'm at 88 hours now or 93 hours now, and man, it's been a fun week. Just mostly that, man, but it's been a blast. I feel like it's totally different playing it on hard.
Okay, yeah, I'm still working through it. We'll see how it goes. I mean, there's not much to really play after Trials of Mana, I guess. I probably just get back to it after that.
Can I say something about the hard mode? I mean, I was thinking about, I started it just a little bit, but I'm thinking, man, like, yo, what if I wait and then like get it on the Series X and then just play it on there? Maybe it's like 60 frames and like maybe.
I see what you're saying.
So yeah, I was thinking maybe I should just wait and get it, because I know I'm gonna buy it again when it comes out on Series X or like Xbox, PC or something like that. So
well, you might also, if you already have it on the PlayStation 4 and you get a PS5, I mean, it might even have a patch that just jumps it right up to like 60 and
exactly. So then you get because I know the hard mode adds like a lot of cool things, and like it is a bit different, but like even if you got that bump in frame rate, you got that bump in resolution.
It's not honestly, I just play now. The main thing is every boss has one extra mechanic, and it's like, oh, okay, this guy makes tidal waves now, or when your fight Hell House spits out little tonberries.
That's so fun. I hate those tonberries because they hit you with you got to get rid of them right away, because they hit you with the spell that knocks you out, and you just watch these little things waddle towards you with a knife, and it shoots you and kills you.
Just shakes one time.
Hello, bitch! I poke you, bitch. It's like, get rid of me, you tonberry.
It's really funny if you watch it happen to someone else, but it's not funny when it happens to you. So yeah,
that was great that they added that though. Like when you first put that quest, you're like, oh snap, that dude's in here.
Yeah,
I didn't think he was going to be in there.
Well, especially that it's these like random hoodlums who have like a pet Tonberry. Like it doesn't even make sense. You're just there, and all of a sudden it's just like, we've got this, and it's like, what the hell? Why is that here?
Yeah,
it comes out with this lantern and his little knife.
Yeah, dude, I had no idea. I was like, oh, it's so cute, and everybody's like, no. And I'm like, why? And then instant death, and I'm like, ah, shit.
Yeah,
all right.
they're really funny. They're really funny. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. So MVG.
Yo.
You played Final Fantasy VII this week. Was that the big game?
Yep. Yeah, that was about it this week, man. Like I said, I picked up Trials of Mana, but I just need a little bit of time before I jump into it again.
Would you grab that on Switch or PS4? Or
I grabbed it on Switch. Yeah.
Okay. It was surprisingly, I picked it up on PS4 because I figure Evan was going to get it on Steam. I figured OJ'd probably grab it on Switch because I think I remember you mentioned that you were probably getting a copy from Square.
Yeah, I got I need to say that too. I got a copy from Square Enix.
He got a copy from Square.
Hashtag ad.
Hashtag ad.
Yes. So I was like, I'll get it on the PS4 Pro just so I can have another base of reference for that.
Does it run at 60 on the Pro or?
It does. Yes.
Nice.
It looks clean too. It looks good. But apparently the PS4 copy is actually harder to find. Apparently they didn't ship a lot of them.
It's extremely hard to find. They barely shipped any. Even of the Switch version, some stores were only getting 1 to 2 copies.
Yeah,
of it.
I picked it up at the Target when I was getting some groceries and stuff, and I go by and they had 1 copy, and I was like,
my buddy got an email saying they weren't getting extra at any of the stores near him, so he had to make sure
the PS4 copy even got lower shipments because Square Enix adjusted it because they're like, man, Final Fantasy VII remake, like we're not going to be able to produce enough, and people probably just aren't going to buy it, so as much on PS4. So they kind of prioritize a little bit more with the Switch version of the game.
Yes.
In terms of copies over the PS4
Reverse
version.
cover art's kind of cool too.
Yeah, so the PS4 versions were extremely hard to find, but there will be physical copies later though. Like once
get it on Amazon, come in as soon as May 4th on PS4.
I'm seeing it on Amazon.
Yeah, but it's May 4th though.
I mean,
that's a while.
Yeah, like you can't get it like usually 2 days with Prime,
Well, yeah, but they're not doing that shit anymore. No,
I wanted this yesterday. So I was I wasn't getting it yesterday online or anywhere else really. So I got lucky at Target because my Walmart didn't have any on the PS4. So I don't know. Maybe it's just more rare now. Restocks and all that will happen, but I figure if I want to get it on the Switch. But Cooking Mama came in, so I got my rare game of the week for the Switch.
Hey man, if you want Cooking Mama on the PS4 is impossible to find right now.
Really?
It's impossible to get. The Switch you can find copies of it, you got to pay for it, but the PS4 version you can't find it anywhere.
Yeah, everyone needs to get a copy of that game because I do think it's going to end up being that weird game we look back on the Switch that was like, remember when the one company released it when they weren't supposed to, and now you can't find it anywhere, and it's like $800.
Well, what was their plan? Is if we go ahead and sell it, they can't stop us from selling it. Like, what was their master plan here?
They both see the contract differently, apparently, the write-up. So they'll probably go to court over it, and probably during that court time they'll have the copies like suspended from being sold. So if which side, what Planet Entertainment is the publishers trying to sell it. The other company that owns the rights, I'm trying to remember their name exactly. They own the rights to Cooking Mama, are trying to block it and not have this game be sold anymore. So if they win, then I guess Cooking Mama will actually be valuable. Who'd have thought it was Cooking Mama for this generation? Yeah, I know, right? I mean, the GameCube was College Hoops, 2K3 or something like that. So.
Well, isn't there that one there's like a PS4 game. There's like 100 copies of it in existence. It's called like Poop Wars or something. And they literally have y'all seen that?
That's a
sketchy. Is it Big Chungus or?
No, I know what game he's talking about.
Yeah, and it has like a super plain box art, and it's that they were trying to print them, and like as soon as they started, they just like ran out of money the first day.
Poop Slinger,
yeah.
But you can buy it digitally for $5.
Oh,
sounds quality.
I need the physical edition.
It's a whole weird, kind of sketchy situation.
Jordan,
yeah,
you told us you were playing Persona, but you finished up Final Fantasy VII.
Mm-hmm.
Was there anything else you were playing? I mean, I assume Persona's going to take up some time from now on.
Yeah, I haven't had time to jump into anything else too much this week aside from checking in and out of Animal Crossing, doing some daily stuff on there.
Okay, so you're back on Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I'm trying to find more time to really work on the island. I'm glad that the Easter event is, or the the Bunny Day event is
I heard
over.
a lot of people are happy it's over. Yes.
Yeah, I like the new events that they're doing now. I like everything that they've added in now. So
They announced a ton of events. There's a lot of stuff happening for that game. That's basically Nintendo's live service. So
yeah,
there you go.
Technically, yeah.
I mean, they sold enough, so why not?
It is their messenger system. It works.
Gosh. All right, Nate, let's hear it.
The only weird game is Nirvana Pilot Yume.
You started out with him.
Yeah, that's the only weird game this week.
Why is it weird?
You watch my footage, and if you can walk away from it and say that wasn't weird, then
You played Final Fantasy VII, right? Did you finish Remake up this week, or did you finish up last week?
Last week.
Okay. I didn't know if you moved on. Are you getting Trials of Mana?
No.
No. Okay. Wow.
No.
All right. So what's the next release you're looking forward to then, Nate? After Final Fantasy VII Remake, is it Xenoblade?
Hell no. We got Streets of Rage 4 next week.
Hell yeah.
That is next week. That is next week.
I got to be honest. I wasn't big on that game for the longest time. It just felt like it looked like a mobile game. But as time has gone by, I'm more a believer in. I think it's going to be good when it comes out.
Here's the best part. It's going to be on Game Pass day one.
Is it really?
Just roll in and download it.
I played it. I was at a convention and they had a really limited demo. You could only play as like 1 or 2 characters, but it was fun. It's really, really fluid. I actually like the hand-drawn art a lot.
I'll say I like how it looks. It looks pretty good, I think. So I'll probably just download it on Game Pass, check it out, and if I really like it, maybe I'll pick it up for like the Switch on a cartridge. So that's the 30th. That's what is that? Friday, Thursday, Thursday.
Yeah. I'm excited. I want to review it. I've taught the developer. I want to get it early. If a couple of us get it early, let's beat it co-op.
Okay. Very good. Cool. Look forward to that. Evan, we got Discord questions.
Yeah, we got a couple this week. Let's go with, in the potential Mario Odyssey 2, what thing from the Mario universe would you want added?
Oh,
that's really good.
Mario universe?
From the Mario universe.
Yeah, stuff that's not an Odyssey that you might want to either take over and control or power up or something.
The big shoe.
The big shoe. That's a good one. That's Mario Bros. 3, right?
Yeah.
I'll say I would like the cape from Super Mario World, because I just feel like that game is good, but I feel like it keeps itself really zoomed in and contained. It'd be cool if we had more ability to just fly around the map.
I always thought like the frog suit was really cool. So if they can like put the frog suit back in there somewhere, and like you can have some like sick levels, like where you go really fast in it, where you can swim really fast or something like that, that'd be dope.
Okay.
I guess the frog suit in the what was it, Super Mario Maker, it lets you run on water now. So
oh, interesting. I saw people in the chat say flood. You think on that?
Nate? A lot of floods in chat.
Nate's not laughing.
He's holding it back.
You're laughing, and Nate's like, he's not laughing.
Nate's writing names down right now.
Oh man,
They just made the list.
The hate list.
We got another Discord question, Evan.
Do you feel there is a gap in game ratings from different media? For example, like R-rated movies versus like M-rated games. Do you feel like there's different weight to that? Maybe they need to be looked at again.
Well, we have there's PG-13 and there's R, right? Whereas with games, it's either teen or M. There's nothing. I mean, there's E10 plus, I guess, but like.
Well, I think their focus is on, because like R rating 17 plus and M is 17 plus, and in their question, they felt like R-rated movies were doing more than what games were allowed to do in that rating before getting moved to adult only.
I think they're pretty close. I mean, I feel like big violent war movies, big violent war games. I don't know. Maybe I'm just aligning things.
I mean, Grand Theft Auto can get pretty bad in some of its stuff. So
you can see a wiener. You can see wieners in Grand Theft Auto 5.
I think it comes down more from the fact though that parents are usually like, it's just a lot easier for younger audiences to get a hold of rated M games than it is for them to walk in on a rated R movie. You know what I mean? Like they're getting carded and stuff like that. Like sometimes parents are like, pick out whatever you want. I'll buy it for you, because they're over 17, they get it, and the kid's still like 12, So I think it has to do more with the fact that it's just harder to have access to a rated R like immediately on launch, or, like I don't know.
Sneak in. You buy a ticket to one movie.
Oh boy.
I mean, you can, sure. Yeah.
That's what we used to do.
I don't know. I think. Well, every rated R movie that I've gone to,
Sonic?
they've had someone like in front of the actual like door of the theater, like
Go
not
in the
just
door of the
like,
theater.
No, I mean like like you get in, you give them your ticket, and then they tell you what theater door. I feel like the rated R ones that I've gone to, they've had someone standing outside the theater door.
Yeah, you wait for like a little group of people, and then you just kind of mosey in. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Oh man.
I mean, I'm not going to disagree. I mean, if you want to do it, you do it. But I think it's a lot harder.
I think when I was 12 or 10, I saw reindeer games when I shouldn't have. That movie sucked anyway, though.
I still
snuck in to see it.
I saw Spawn at 11 years old. I saw Spawn with my grandma. I don't know why. And she dragged me out of the theater when the demon started cross-dressing as a cheerleader. She was like, "This is for the devil."
It's called Spawn. What the hell did she think?
I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea why I thought that.
Oh man. Let's go to first topic here. Okay, let's go with Xbox Lockhart. All right, so there was a report that came out of Windows Central where they said that apparently Xbox Lockhart entered its take-home phase, where people, I guess, inside Microsoft are taking home and testing it. Which I remember Phil Spencer said on Twitter that he had Project Scarlet at home, and then a month later they announced Series X at the Game Awards. So I mean, then we did have those prototype pictures come out, so that might have been just closer anyway. Maybe we'll get a prototype picture of Lockhart then pretty soon, just randomly on Twitter. By the way, did that person get in trouble? Do we know?
No. I don't know if they got in trouble, but we didn't really hear anything after what happened.
I mean, it had their full ID number on the console. I'm sure that person, at the very least, if it wasn't a controlled leak.
I thought about that. If it was a controlled leak.
It was a controlled leak. Come on.
I think some Microsoft people, though, were saying that it was. Some Microsoft people were like, "Oh, gosh, darn it. Oh, that dang picture. That's super HD. Dang it." You know?
Yeah.
Everything Microsoft's done is a controlled leak.
Yeah.
I mean, you think they're playing the marketing that well, huh?
Yeah, I really do. I mean, I think they're coming out all guns blazing this time around, and they're killing Sony right now.
Okay. And then we have so Xbox Lockhart and Series X. They're expecting 4 teraflop entry point. Next gen gaming should effectively replace the Xbox One X. With, by the way, the One X is like basically discontinued at this point. Just about. They're not replenishing stock in stores, and that thing is like $300 now. So apparently the One X, I guess, is being cycled out. Which, we talked about it before, didn't we? One X versus Series X.
Yeah,
that would be kind of confusing at market. But then, does that mean that this Lockhart would be called? Would it really be able to be Series S if One S is in stores then?
Yeah, because it's Series. You put the Series in front of it.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like that's why they're getting rid of One X, because Series X and One X might be confusing for consumers too. I feel like they just want to move everything to the new AMD architecture and just like leave GCN behind. And it says, okay, so it'll be affordable, of course. I'm thinking it might even be we thought it could possibly be a $300 system, maybe, if they do it right. Limited forms of ray tracing, 4 teraflop system. Any thoughts on Lockhart? What if Microsoft launches with a $300 and a $500 system?
Honestly, if the rumors, like a lot of the rumors circulating right now, which who knows how true they are, is that the PlayStation 5 is going to be $500. If Microsoft comes out and they have a $400 version of their console and a $300 version of their console, and it's like, okay, this is the weaker version, this is the stronger version, but they both play Halo Infinite and they both have Games Pass, I feel like both of those are going to look way more appealing to casual gamers.
Okay, because if they remove the disk drive, if they cut the SSD in half, so it's like instead of a terabyte, it's 500 megabyte SSD, 4 teraflop
gigabyte.
System comes out. What's that? I'm sorry. Yeah, 500 gigabytes. Sorry,
500 megabytes.
Yeah.
looks at modern games and starts to cry.
500 gigabyte storage, and it comes out at 300. That'd be a pretty big advantage for Microsoft if they push that out. Do you think they're gonna launch with 2 consoles? So that's the part that I struggle with. I just can't see that happening, man. Like, I mean,
Lockhart exists. We've always said that it exists, but will it come out? Well, will it get launched with the Series
I almost
X?
feel like if it really is at the take-home phase with their employees, that it's coming out alongside of the series. Like I almost feel like they're going to try to launch everything this holiday.
I mean, would that be such a surprise though? I feel like they do that with like phones and stuff, and people are like, "Oh, I still want the best model."
I think it's surprising because of the current situation right now with the pandemic in the world and manufacturing being all over. I think that's the only thing, because if it wasn't for that, I would be like, they're definitely going to have that. That's the only thing that's kind of throwing me a little bit, because apparently Sony's allegedly struggling to get everything like in order as well. And they're not even trying to do two systems. They're trying to do just their one. So I'm like, they're going to do Lockhart and they're going to do Series X. That's going to be interesting to see if that actually works out. 4 teraflop system. It'll probably be a 1080p or 1440p system. It's basically going to do what the One X does now, resolution wise. It'll probably just be checkerboard up. Actually, it'll be like the PS4 Pro, more likely, something like that. But better CPU, SSD. It'll be fast. I'm curious if it actually sells better, because if it's $300.
Show me games.
Right? Yeah.
Interesting you say that, Sean.
Well, yeah, supposedly stuff in May, but yeah, I mean that's all I give a shit about right now with both the PS5 and the Xbox.
Show me the games.
Show me games. So what am I going to be playing on these systems?
So how about that, Sean? Okay, how about this? We move over this. Okay. Actually, Nate, what do you think about Lockhart?
It's a compelling piece of hardware if Microsoft prices it accordingly, and it could be one of the leading selling SKUs for Microsoft if it is priced affordably, because one thing gamers really don't understand is that you have the enthusiast hardcore crowd, and they're going to buy Series X, but there's still a lot of people out there who buy standard DVD, who still have 720p televisions,
who still have Xbox VCRs. Go on.
There's nothing wrong with the VCR. And if you don't care about 4K gaming and stuff, if Lockhart is affordable, you're getting the same games. You're still going to get awesome performance. That's going to be a very luring SKU for Microsoft, and it's a smart move for them if they price it properly. And Sony doesn't have a counter for it.
Let me ask you this, Nate. Which one are you getting?
If they're both available same day?
300, 500.
300 versus
Series
500.
S, Series X. Which one are you getting?
I still go with Series X.
Okay. I mean, there's no disc drive for Series S. So Lockhart.
I think it makes sense though if they were able, like Nate was saying, people we're all enthusiasts, and we'll spend, and lots of people will buy the best one. But look at the Switch Lite. You know what I'm saying? Look at anytime that you have a cheaper price, people say, well, nobody wants that. Remember before the Switch Lite, nobody's gonna want that. You can't switch. It can't switch. It can't switch, and you can't put Joy-Cons, and then Switch Lite. People buying the hell out of it because people don't understand. A lot of times as a gamer, you don't got kids. Sometimes you don't have you need to factor in for other people in your household, and you're not gonna buy 3 Series X's for however much. And sometimes if you have multiple kids, they might want their own system. You're gonna go with the cheaper option. So in my opinion, if they were able to do it right, this is the absolute right call. I think they should, as soon as they can get out a cheaper model and a more expensive one, that'd be the better. In my opinion, you're gonna get way more sales if it's close, if it's at the same time. People can just buy what they want, and people can be happy with that. But don't sleep on them having a cheaper model. Having something cheaper is always a good idea. I don't care how many features they remove or whatever the case is. Having a cheaper model is always a good idea because it gives you an option.
What if it's 400 and 600?
That's stupid if it was, but if they that's
we laugh about it, but wait,
all that hard work that Microsoft's done has just gone down the drain if that's what they do. Yeah.
Well,
no way.
It's gonna be interesting because it'd probably have a smaller SSD, but because they have their smart delivery system and it's gonna be a 1080p or 1440p system, the file sizes will actually end up probably shrinking on that thing from current gen now to then. So that'd be fun to see.
600 is too expensive for a system. Not saying that it's not worth that in terms of parts or whatever, but 600 for most people is too expensive. We saw what happened with the PlayStation 3, even though it was a great deal, right? Blu-ray player at that time, Blu-ray players,
hard drive was built in.
SD memory. It had a bunch of USB ports. It had all sorts of cool stuff.
It had 3 games for it. It was great.
Giant enemy crab. You can
That's a good. Sean brings up a great point. We've seen the hardware where are the games? So I think whatever's next in the next couple of weeks with these kind of announcements that are rumored to come, we've got to see. It's time. Let's see some games. If we don't see games, then we're in trouble.
I think Microsoft they're prepared for that. They're ready to show the games. They are ready to come forward and say, Phil Spencer already said, we know you guys want transparency. We're going to show our games when they're closer to release. And he seems like he is prepped. He's ready to go into next gen. And I mean, we know both companies are going to show things way off in the distance. We'll see Sony come out and say, here's Spider-Man 2 coming out summer 2021. But if Microsoft can come out and say, 2021 summer? Probably.
Ooh. Oh,
the game's
okay.
been out for over a year already, so it may be a 3-year development cycle, so it makes sense for them. But if Microsoft can come out and say, here's games within our first year, we have Halo, Fable, Perfect Dark, and they just go through a laundry list of games.
Hold on a minute.
Hold on.
I'm real excited.
Confirmed.
Nate, I was going to ask you what game they announced for 2020 that's not going to that's going to replace Halo Infinite, which is not coming out this year.
Whoa! Let's not push Halo Infinite out just yet. Hold on a minute. hold on.
Speculation.
Halo Infinite was coming out this holiday. What's going on? All of a sudden?
I don't think so.
Oh no! Don't say that.
I mean, I don't know anything about it. I just don't feel like it's coming out this year. That's
I'm a little concerned because I haven't seen
it does though. I mean, like my main concern for the launches of both these systems is that we're going back to, I'll use an N64 style launch of basically you get like 1 or 2 new games, and you won't see an influx of bigger releases probably for 6 months after launch, because even if they launch this holiday, it's basically them saying, we want those holiday dollars. We're launching a little prematurely, and it's only premature because of the pandemic. Development has been halted. It's more difficult to get software prepped. I mean, some developers right now couldn't even prep a trailer for a game. So what if the first 6 months for both PS5 and Xbox, you only have 1 or 2 really big, exciting games, and you have to wait until late spring, early summer for that flow of
the way I see it is, as long as we know there are bigger games coming. So if they got to tell us about a game a year and a half in advance, I'm okay with that. As long as I know, like if they show up and they say, okay, Halo Infinite's this year, here's gameplay, I'm like, all right. They're like, Fable's like late 2021, early 2022.
Yeah,
I'm like, at least I know about it.
I think Microsoft has the advantage there because, like, I've said this before, but like they'll launch the system, they'll give you like Game Pass 3 months for free, and that will like tide most people over until games start coming out early next year.
And it sounds like their backwards compatibility will be more on point because like Cyberpunk is you buy it once and you have it on the next platform. So like I look at that,
that's not going to be the standard. That's just
that's what we're trying to figure out right now, Sean. Because you're right, because we don't know how Cyberpunk's going to work on the PS5 right now.
I actually think it'll be more universal than we're pretty. I think a lot of companies are making sure that they can sell stuff, and I think that they're probably going to get some sort of kickback. I imagine that maybe Sony, Microsoft would be like, just create that patch, that way we can sell more consoles and we all win.
Okay. It's so I guess there's events rumored for May now.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm trying to figure out how this is going to work out because they're going to have an event in May. Each of them, I guess that's what it sounds like. It's like, oh yeah, Sony's going to have one and Microsoft's going to have one, and then they're going to have another event like a month or 2 later.
So, yeah, E3, man. Like E3's coming up. Well, E3 week is coming up, I guess.
Yeah,
so I would
IGN's going to do something with that,
right?
So I feel like Sony's is easy. Like what they would do in May, they would show the system. Right, they'd be like, "Here's the system. Here are the features that we kept quiet." Yeah, and then here's the Horizon Zero Dawn 2 that leaked out recently. You know, and they might show something else like maybe they might show Last of Us in like in engine or something being run on the system, and maybe they show something like Spider-Man.
Maybe they just show Last of Us multiplayer and be like, "This is it running on a PS5 or something."
Knack 3. Man, we can only hope.
Baby.
The ultimate game. Final Fantasy 16. A lot of the Final Fantasy community have been speculating because the reason I say that because y'all laugh, but a lot of fucking stupid ass bathroom breaks. A lot of Final Fantasy reveals have gone along with PlayStation console reveals. A lot of times they do that. So,
hey, Ratchet and Clank, some stuff up there. You never know. Maybe some third-party stuff. Blue Point. What's Blue Point doing?
Well, they got something. Awesome. They got something.
Yeah,
We will find out.
It's probably gonna be Demon Souls. I'm gonna be annoyed, but yeah.
Hey,
want
that'd be
Escape.
great.
I mean,
the
it'll
bigger-
be cool. It'll be cool, but I'll be kind of disappointed. I'll be like, okay, I guess. All right.
I thought you wanted Ape Escape.
See, now we're talking.
But we have the bigger, better rumor
What?
of Konami is about to come back in their full glory and bring a PS5 exclusive Silent Hill game.
Okay, this keeps getting talked about that there would be a Silent Hill game.
Look
here.
at Max. Max was sitting there and he's
I'm about to pull out every one of the games. You ready for this?
Oh gosh. if they really do show up and they're like, yeah, we actually got Konami to let us use Silent Hill for something other than gambling, like that would be pretty impressive, I'll admit.
I mean, that would
be
get people
very
excited. Like, it might not be a release until 2022, maybe even early 2023. That's
fine.
the type of release that gets people talking, and you're sitting there saying, "Holy shit! It's the return of Silent Hill."
If they did that, oh god, if they did that right, and they show up with Silent Hill, it shows up on the screen, and then Kojima walks out on stage for it, or in the press, or in like the live stream thing they do. That'd be pretty impressive.
Well, so that's apparently what the rumor was. The rumor that's been going on recently is that Kojima was approached again to say like, hey, do you want to finish Silent Hills? And apparently Kojima said no thanks. But it does sound like there's been some leaks and even some statements from Konami that sounds like Silent Hill is something. Who knows what? But it sounds like they're letting people pitch it. It sounds like what they're doing is, instead of Konami trying to develop it, maybe this time they're just going to let people pitch it and be like, all right, we'll fund you making it. We'll
there's also rumors around a SOCOM game.
Interesting.
Yeah,
What?
interesting.
There's rumors for that from what I'm seeing. That wouldn't be a bad initial. Yeah, that'd be, because they showed Killzone originally with the PS4 when that was first shown. They had something with SOCOM, and it actually showed like destructible environments and ray tracing and all this cool stuff. And yeah, that'd be interesting to see. I mean, if it was a good online multiplayer, I think that'd be good, because Sony kind of lacked online multiplayer this past gen.
I mean, I think that was also
weakness.
I think that was intentional though, because they knew that they've got so much, third party support with with their multiplayer games, Call of Duty and like Grand Theft Auto and all this stuff, and that all sells the most. So I think they particularly wanted to focus on single player, big type of experiences. So.
SOCOM keeps coming up quite a bit. I will say that.
I used to play the hell out of SOCOM back on the PS2.
It keeps coming up. They kind of ruined it, didn't they, recently? So
Yeah, but they can bring it back.
yeah,
They can get it back. Yeah.
But let me ask you a question though, MVG. Like, the landscape has changed, because obviously, like, I know Dreamcast guy, we all played it back then. Remember when it was like online gaming was new, right? Well, at least for console.
it was on the PS2. Right?
Yeah, on the PS2.
I remember
So you didn't have to do much for it to be impressive. So maybe we were impressed at the time. Because like the PS3 ones, they had all the normal features, right? But those ones were nowhere near as like exciting. And I played all
the one where they had the gun, where it was like the move and stuff.
Yeah, I got that. Those games were trash.
That's what I mean.
The campaign is super trash. I mean, I know some people liked them, but like they'd have to definitely do something a bit different, because the game has changed quite a bit. I don't know who the hell would develop it, but the game has changed so much from just having a headset, and that was cool back then.
The original that was the first time anybody ever talked trash to me online, as I put on the headset, and the first guy was, "I'm in the actual military, motherfucker. If you can kill me, I can kill you, IRL." I was like, okay, what? I was like, I'm just trying to figure out the buttons. But thank you.
People would talk like that. I used to use the PS2 headset too and do that. So
it's a good point, OJ, that you bring up. But SOCOM 2, there's something about that game that, like, to this day, there is like still a multiplayer contingent of people that still play this game. So there's something really good about SOCOM 2 that is just so addictive to play. It's kind of like Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike's been around for literally like over a decade, but people continue to play the same maps over and over again. So I think this is more than just, this is something that was new and cool when the PS2 came out. I think if you've got a really good multiplayer formula, people are going to embrace that and continue to play it. So if they can somehow bring SOCOM back to a new generation PS5 and bring that kind of feeling of SOCOM 2 back, I think that will be really, really good for them. And I think it'll do well.
Who was it? It was
Zipper Interactive.
Zipper.
Yep.
And they shut down after.
They shut down after the PS3 games were garbage.
Oh man, what did they did MAG also. Oof, man.
Yeah.
Massive action game.
I knew that was trash when I first saw it. I was like, this isn't gonna work.
Yeah, I don't know who they'd put on it. That's a good question. Because Guerrilla's gonna do Horizon.
They'd have to get somebody else, like a third party.
You could probably try to assign Sony Bend because they did the Siphon filter game, so they have some.
Yeah, you know what?
That's a good point.
They could. I don't know.
And the later Siphon filter games all had online multiplayer. That was actually pretty good. I used to play Logan's Mirror and Dark Shadow online a lot.
I just think having SOCOM, like a military shooter like that, would give them some variety to their lineup. So that would be.
Man.
I'd be interested to see that on the PS5. I think that'd be really cool.
Make it free to play.
You know what? No, but what if it was multiplayer only?
But do you guys really think this is like? I get it, but like I don't know. Something tells me because that was before Call of Duty. SOCOM, literally, like the success was before Call of Duty. Call of Duty it's everything. And yes, it's yearly. I know people dude, Call of Duty is so big. It's such a big franchise. And I don't think people realize exactly how big it is, even though we know about all the numbers and sales, but it just dominates first-person shooters, military, whatever you want to say. There's nothing else like Call of Duty. Can SOCOM come in and actually make a dent? I think PlayStation owners are just going to opt for Call of Duty.
Rainbow Six Siege does really, really well.
Yeah.
But that's a different type, though. That's like operators, and that's like multiplayer, where it's like you're going in and you're...
What if they got into like that, though? Like something like that.
Okay, then yeah, maybe it has a chance that if it does something like that, but if it's like a Call of Duty type of game, like then.
Yeah, and actually, so as soon as y'all started talking about it, I actually pictured what Spawn was talking about. That's what I thought it was going to be immediately, is something that's more tactical and serious. Whereas, like Call of Duty, definitely, I think part of the reason it's so successful is that it's laser tag. It's just pew pew, you fall over, you're instantly back in the game. It doesn't matter. Whereas SOCOM was the slower, more methodical,
kind of be more like a Ghost Recon kind of.
Yeah, except not garbage. Yeah.
They're gonna have to do something. Like I would definitely look at like a Siege if they want to get, because like Siege doesn't have single player, it's just
if they could lean into the esports side of it with a SOCOM game, it could be big for them. Because that's why Siege is huge, because of esports. It's one of Ubisoft's most popular things. But when Siege launched, it got a mixed reception. People thought it was underwhelming.
It took them a while to get
it continued with support, and now it has 60 million players?
Well, install. It has a lot of installs, like people that have played it at some point. But the esports community and the professional community with it is pretty good. I watch Siege quite a bit. I watch Siege at least once a week, and they've added so much, like the operators, and like how you can get through, and the tactical play, and like the seasons. There's a lot of cool stuff in Siege. I would never play the game, but watching it is awesome. I think it's really cool for that. So if they can do that, that'd be dope. I'd be down to like watch esports stuff. Yeah,
they had. I think Siege at one point. Well, it might still be. They had like the beginners install where it didn't cost anything, but you'd have to build up and grind away a lot for your characters.
They have free to play weekends. They'd have sometimes where you can just download it and you can get the. You can get the. Stop, y'all stupid. You can. I can't even talk. Somebody else.
But okay, so we just talked about the PS5. Let's go over to the Xbox. What do you think Microsoft shows up at this May event? Because keep in mind they'd want to do it June as well. What do they show up with? Do you think they show Lockhart there, or do you think they show Lockhart when they're ready to do pricing so it makes sense?
I'm going to make a bold prediction. I think that what Microsoft is going to do in June to really blow Sony away is I think they're going to reveal Lockhart, and they're going to give it a price. They're going to reveal the Series X. They're going to reveal a price, and I bet they'll have the first hands-on demo, because we know that their console is just so far along. I bet they'll probably have like on the show floor, maybe like the journalists that are there will be able to play Halo Infinite, because it seems like Sony is just they're still really in production.
Sony feels like they're behind, but every time I say that, then they say, "Oh, here's our controller. This is all the features." Like they keep catching people off guard with their drops. So
apparently the thing with the controller was about to be leaked. That's why they did that surprise reveal. I mean, it was like, okay, people are already about to post pictures. Let's just post our own picture.
Yeah, so it's interesting to hear about kind of two contrasting sides. To Microsoft seems super prepared, and every time we hear about Sony, it's they're struggling with production or they're like rushing to try to show a controller off. It's very strange. But do you think Microsoft shows up with like a Fable? That Fable's like the longest rumored thing now. Everyone's like Fable's showing up. Fable's gonna be there. Playground's doing Fable.
It's an easy win. I mean, honestly, people would cheer for it if it was a friggin' logo.
There's a rumor for it right now that that Fable's getting worked on, and that they did what's the word for it?
Realism?
No, it's where they take. It's like photogrammetry. It's like where they go around and they use actual like images and they like scan them in, like have that's where they have it set up so like there's a ton of cameras in a room and they take pictures of people to try to make it so it like looks as realistic as possible. Apparently they were doing that for like the scenes around so it looks like real almost on the Series X. So it's gonna be, that would be really cool to see. And if it's one big open world with no load times, that would be that crazy feeling that the original Fable gave me.
Who's doing the Fable game?
Playground,
I would think.
That's my and I think everyone's assumption. They're probably, I bet you one of the other studios is running support with them. Yeah. Could be Compulsion, could be some other studio is helping them most likely to get it done. That would be my thought. I don't know if they're getting more than one studio to help them. Like I don't know if like multiple studios are helping, but I mean, we've heard like Coalition come in to try to help get something done as well. So if Fable is that important and they want it out soon, I guess that they'd get one of several studios to help them out. So
is Fable still a popular franchise in 2020?
No.
I would say that it's recent enough. I think it's
all of us know and love Fable because we've all played it, but do people that haven't experienced Fable before?
I think it's a franchise prime for. But I think it's prime for that reboot.
Dragon Fable. I don't know Fable.
Reboot. Okay,
I played it. I didn't really care for it.
But I think enough of us know about it to where if people started getting excited for it, people like Miss Click who doesn't know what Fable is would at least check it out and be like, "What's Fable exactly?"
They got Final Fantasy, reboot it.
Okay, Sean, let's hear it.
What is there to be excited about Fable in 2020?
Okay, look,
as far as what hasn't been done in other games.
Okay, look,
it sounds like a video title you're gonna make.
It's whimsy, it's magic, it's charming British accent, and Stephen Molyneux is not gonna fucking pee in it. So
Peter Molyneux.
Peter Molyneux. Sorry, Stephen Molyneux is the philosopher. Yeah, Peter Molyneux.
Keep Stephen out of it too, but no, let me tell you.
No Molyneux.
Keep his ass out too. No Molyneux. But no, here's the reason why this could be different, right? Because it's a new age, right? Obviously, people aren't going to be looking like, oh, well, the games came out this and whatever. You're going to have to show people what the game looks like now. You got to show impressive gameplay to get people in now. You're not trying to get all the old fans. If they come back, that's cool, but you're trying to impress new people. I think kind of like what God of War did. They weren't trying to get, I guess, all the old fans because the gameplay is so different from what they did.
They took away the jump button. How dare they?
No, they took away a lot more than that. As somebody who's
let's be honest.
The games play. No, there's a lot more. The games play nothing. They don't play anything alike.
You used to be able to ban hoes to get health.
Yeah, pretty much.
The game was, I mean, the old God of War games were very Devil May Cry-ish. Very Devil May Cry-ish. This one's not. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is that they tried to get new people. They tried to adapt the gameplay for a modern sense. If they can do that with Fable, then they can get a bunch of new people in. God of War is the best-selling God of War game in the
So what you're saying is Fable's going to be a first-person shooter?
No. What I'm saying is that they're probably going to adapt a lot of things to make it a different style of play. It's not going to be like how it was before with Molyneux sitting there and saying you can be able to.
Yeah, you're not going to walk into a village and fart in front of women and stuff.
It'll just end up being a whimsical Witcher. That's all.
Now we're taking away the core gameplay elements.
You can take Fable into like a Witcher type direction. Like the name is going to be like, I remember this franchise, but they can take it into like that fantasy world to such like a Witcher or an Elder Scrolls type of thing, and it's going to be their exclusive version. So there's a lot they can do with that franchise. Like, yes, it's not going to be the Fable we necessarily remember.
No, they can't. I mean, they can't go back to that Fable because
you're not going to be. Why not running around with a chicken with your underpants and the ones
that Fable? Because here's the thing: that Fable was built around Molyneux. It was built around what his designs and his ideas, and it ultimately crumbled because he promised way more than he can actually deliver. With this new Fable, it's going to be Playground. They're obviously, the Forza games, they focus heavily on customization, gameplay within racing, so they're going to bring that expertise to an action.
So Fable's a racing game.
Playground is really good at, from what I've gathered with like Horizon. Like Sean, you played Forza Horizon, right? Yeah. When you're playing the game, did you really see how good the world was built around you when you're racing around really, really fast? I mean, think about Playground getting thrown the idea of being able to do what they want with Fable and build an open world to show off what like the new system can do with an open world and an SSD.
I mean, I'm not saying that it would be, the most terrible thing in the world. I'm just saying I don't think Fable, the brand, holds the same weight. Like if you said in the same day or in the same sentence, there's a new Elder Scrolls, there's a new Witcher, and there's a new Fable coming out, which game would probably get more buzz?
Probably Elder Scrolls.
I feel like Fable would be at the bottom of that list.
Absolutely.
Because it's just Elder Scrolls, then probably Witcher.
This is their opportunity to bring it back. Like, there's nothing wrong with, you're right, Sean, you're completely right. Obviously, it wouldn't get as much buzz, but this is their opportunity to make it bigger than what it was. Yes, God of War had a bigger presence than what Fable did, but there was some bad. Ascension was bad, and they had to bring it back. So I mean, there's nothing wrong with them, trying something if they're gonna bring Fable back, and it's gonna be about the gameplay. It might impress you. You're thinking about the old Fable. If they got something new, it might impress people. It might be a really good game.
They should just call it Fable.
Yeah, just exactly. Just Fable. Just do that.
Fable: The Journey 2.
No,
not that.
I would just be like how God of War was just God of War, just Fable.
And I'm a huge Fable fan. I've played every single one of them. Fable 3 is trash, but I've played every single one of them. And I played the one that got canceled. I played that one at E3, and I was excited for that game too. But I'm just hoping that they bring. I want them to bring back Fable because I think that there's still a lot that's unexplored in terms of what they can do. And for Xbox to have its like action adventure RPG, Elder Scrolls, whatever, God of War type game or whatever the case is.
Basically, each system will have a big open world game to show off the capabilities of the system with the new CPU and the SSD. We'd have the PS5 with Horizon Zero Dawn 2, and then we'd have most likely the Series X with Fable. So that'd be interesting. And I'll tell you this, I bet you we don't hear from the initiative over the next 2 months. I bet you they'll be quiet probably till next year, I bet. Which is a shame because the word is what's the rumor? They're working on Perfect Dark.
Yeah,
that's the rumor.
Third person shooter, Perfect Dark, right?
Back to the Fable thing. Do you think that, let's say they design a game in the inspiration of Fable, do you think that they should even bother with the Fable name? Like, does the Fable name have any real value to it?
Yes.
Where
I do.
More so than a new IP?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
I think it has.
It has enough value, but I mean, like as you said, you could just do a new IP, which then has no value. Even if Fable is worth 1 cent, that's better than zero.
Well, and they can sell it as, because clearly it feels like a lot of the marketing for the Series X is like, this is the culmination of Xbox. We can play every Xbox game of every generation. Like, this is everything combined into one. So it'd be cool if they come out on stage and be like, and that also means building on the bricks of the past by bringing back Fable. Look at that.
Hold on a second. Miss Click, have you played any Fable games at all?
Nope.
I mean, what the hell, man?
All I mean, what system was it on? Again, like I didn't,
Xbox 360. Well, and what's interesting is, as much as I enjoyed them, I feel like it can also say, Miss Click, you're not really missing out on much. They were fun at the time. I don't really feel like going back.
This is my thing. I think if they are gonna bring things back, right? Nostalgia will drive a lot of people in, but what you also have to do is like market it again, like we talked about earlier, to people who didn't grow up with it or who didn't know it, who don't really have an attachment to it. It's got to be like heavy, nice marketing. It's got to be relevant. Final Fantasy VII brought a lot of the remake brought a lot of new people in, brought people who knew about the original, but because they updated combat, they changed things. People who loved the original were, upset about those changes, but overall it's done really successful because of said changes that I think would have kept a lot of people away. So again, it comes down to the marketing and creating it and making it relevant.
Sure.
So,
I think they should
kind of like God of War, right?
And they need a great marketing campaign. I think they really need to focus on the like it being a character you create and you can design and you can completely choose.
Awesome.
It should, all I need to put out is Fable, determine your destiny or determine your fantasy or something like that.
I would not be opposed if they actually just made a main character that was the standard one, because that was what the original was about, and that's what they did there. So if they went against
Chicken Chaser.
Chicken Chaser.
I would be fine if they didn't, and they just made a main character, and then you actually had party members. It wasn't just because like Fable's one of those games like you're just sort of rolling, but you're like a one-man army type of game, you know. And like I think the one that you have a dog in one of them, you have like in the second game.
I'll tell you what they're probably gonna do. They're gonna do some online multiplayer shenanigans in that game too. People
Fable Battle Royale.
This is the thing, right? So Molyneux, right, never really, his vision was never really fulfilled because for different reasons. Number one, he was full of shit. But the second reason is because the limitations of the hardware he had to work with at the time. Now we have the Series X, which is like the most powerful console that's coming, right? Which got shitloads of memory and lots of GPU.
A lot of those T-flops I heard.
So now you've got like an open book to basically bring any type of functionality to the table. I'm not, Molyneux is obviously not involved, right? But whoever is working on this game has an open book to basically bring all those features and make Fable the game that was actually supposed to be back in the day when it was first talked about. So, now is the time to really just bring that to, a new generation of people.
Fable in the style of Breath of the Wild.
I'm really excited for May. I hope both these companies come up with some good stuff.
It's my birthday coming up. I want they need to do the reveal on my birthday. That way I can just sit there and eat cake and watch it.
I'll let them know.
yeah. Call them up for me, Jordan.
I'll give them a call.
I don't think that we'll find out pricing until June. I think that's when we'll find out pricing. So
what about? I mean, pricing is one thing. We need games in May. If there's no games in May, then buckle up because
I think
we're not getting anything this year.
I think there's going to be games in May. I think Microsoft at least will have some.
But the thing of it is, you also have to remember with Microsoft, their own words, there's nothing that's going to come out on the Series X for the first year or two that will not be on the Xbox One family of systems as well.
That's why I think Fable will be like a late 2022.
But that doesn't mean that the games coming out on the Series X aren't made for the Series X and then downscaled for
like what if it's like Shadow like what if they have some new system for Fable, like how Shadow of Mordor had like the Nemesis system on the new platforms, but then on the old ones like the 360 and the PS3 they didn't have that Nemesis system. It was just like very basic.
I mean, you could do stuff like that, but a lot of those, when you look at games that came out on the PS4 that also released on the PS3, they had different development teams as well. Different companies.
I'm sure that's happening here.
You think so?
I'm
talking about first party. I'm talking about the first party Xbox games.
I think Microsoft will outsource the lesser versions to other companies because their focus is going to be selling you on, as much as they don't want to say it, they still want to sell you on the Series X line of products because the Xbox One brand is toxic. It did not sell. They need to make that forgotten as quickly as they can. That interview was just kind of them like, yeah, we're not abandoning our old system, but the subtext is
$300
as soon as we can
Lockhart.
dump this thing, we're going.
$300 Lockhart. Let's go. Evan, we got a Discord question. I'll move to some of these super chats here.
All right. What are some of your favorite video game soundtracks?
Oh,
Chrono Trigger.
Just Final Fantasy VII. I purchased Final Fantasy VII soundtrack and everything so I could listen to it even back in the day. I used to go to parts of the town in Final Fantasy VII I liked the most, and I just hang out. Like I used to go to Cosmo Canyon with the airship and like park in Cosmo Canyon and just like hang out. I still like the Mega Man X soundtracks. You can pretty much pick most of the games and fire it up and you're good. X4 was pretty good. I know that. But
Wild Hearts.
X4.
That is
that's
a good
one.
soundtrack.
And I was recently listening to Wipeout.
Wipeout is a good soundtrack.
And I'm gonna hit you with a really good one. Ready for this? Ace Combat 7.
Oh, dude, that soundtrack is top tier. Top tier soundtrack.
It is top tier, but it's no Octopath.
I finally picked that up for VR. I haven't played it yet.
Ace Combat?
Octopath VR?
I thought that
In the labo.
Ace Combat? Yeah, that's the VR. I don't think the VR was as I think it was kind of limited. I liked Ace Combat. Like it's a good game, and the soundtrack is really really good. They just added that to Game Pass actually.
Ace Combat was one of the most underrated games that came out last year.
It got buried. It came out like right around when Dragon Quest I thought came out.
I think it was Devil May Cry.
Devil May Cry. That's right. I'm sorry, it was Devil May Cry because I remember I got it and no one was talking about it, and I was like, this game is really good.
It's gonna end up on a Metal Jesus video in about 4 years from now.
Yeah. If anyone's curious, go fire up the soundtrack for Ace Combat on YouTube and let me know what you think.
Speaking of Ace Combat, it is on Game Pass.
Is it really?
Yes,
Wow.
It is on Game Pass. Yep. So you can check it out. There you go, Sean.
Wow.
Check it out.
Yeah, delete stuff.
You getting that 1X?
I need to wait for the reveal. Once I see what they do during this reveal, I might actually get one.
Okay.
Because my expectations are lower than a lot of yours for this thing, and maybe that's good, maybe that's bad. But
you about to make that clickbait of like, was I wrong about the Xbox? And you're like,
no, because I haven't really gone on record and said it in any videos or anything like that. But
let me go to the super chats here. We have Swift X Miles $1. Thanks, Swift. Demolition Man says today is my birthday. # Reggie for president.
Happy birthday!
happy birthday, man! Happy birthday.
Decepticon says happy B Day MVG.
Thank you, John.
Fish fan says, ask RGT quarantine cuisine of the week.
So we had a lot of stuff this week, man. I got 3 pizzas from 3 different pizza places.
Now I don't still feel so bad, dude.
And then I did some grocery shopping and got a bunch of stuff. I got some ham and roast beef and cheese for sandwiches and just a bunch of random crap.
All right, very good.
Some shitty oranges. I was eating one before the show started. It wasn't good.
You're pretty mad at that orange.
I'm pretty mad at that orange.
Core Sonic says, I am doing a blind Let's Play for Trials of Mana right now on YouTube, and I am also playing Persona 5 Royal. I love how one of the main female characters has a thing for the main protagonist. Cersei Julius says, sup Spawncast gang, never played a Persona game. Should I start with part 5 or just hunt them down and start from the first installment? You can pretty much jump in any of them.
Yeah, so I've played all of every Persona. I've beaten 3, 4, and 5. I actually
like 3.
Play them in reverse order. I say go 5, 4, 3, 2, and then the early ones are really rough, and you need to be a fan. So I say start with 5 and go back.
5 is readly available too.
4 is so good. 4 is fantastic.
I agree.
It's Vita.
I would say go Persona 4 Golden on the Vita and go from there.
So good.
Decepticon says, do you think Wario has a shot at getting a game for Switch? I'd love another Wario World game, but I'd welcome WarioWare or Land. You'll probably get a WarioWare game. That'd be my guess. Because they would probably use the Joy-Cons to show off all kinds of stuff that it can do.
So many games.
Yeah, that's what I would assume. I don't think Wario World will show up. That's the GameCubes. So. Then we have Bushin Ryu says, John, if we get Lockhart and find a way to attach an external Blu-ray drive, could it be cheaper and more powerful? You know, that's not a bad idea if they release like a separate piece you could buy that lets you actually pop the Blu-rays in, like it's like a separate enclosure for a disc drive.
HD DVD.
Yeah, kind of like that. That'd be interesting if they offered that. If they're like, hey, if you bought Lockhart, there's this $100 attachment that lets you pop Blu-rays in.
They won't make the same mistake twice. Don't worry.
Oh man, I bought one of those when I saw it used at GameStop. I was like, it was like it was like over half off. I was like, I'll buy this piece of crap. I never once bought an HD DVD to actually use it.
I had a friend that had it, and their big thing was that it allowed you to just leave a disc in the drive to play from if you want. It was just a convenience for that. It was like, I can just leave this disc in here at all times. And
At the bookstore, we would sell HD DVDs for $1. So my buddy bought the HD DVD, and every day break, you just browse through there and just pick a movie every day. Like, all right, $1. Let's see this on HD DVD. Who cares?
John, that's a teardown video for you.
HD
I think
DVD.
I have one, and somebody sent me back when I had a PO box like 20 HD DVDs. I have them all in my game room in the closet.
That's something I collect just because they're hard to find and they're not worth anything. And literally every time I travel, I find a bunch and just buy them. I have a whole shelf full of. You want the Bourne Identity on HD DVD? I have like 7 copies of it at this point.
Hit me up, just for fun. Sure, I'll take one. I need a coaster.
Lycon says Lockhart still needs a Blu-ray drive, or it'll struggle in many markets that have internet limitations, just like Xbox One. Sad.
Yeah, see, that's a good point. I mean, I don't know if it needs a Blu-ray drive, but if we're talking about, next generation, 100 gigabyte is like the average download.
Yes,
that's going to really hurt a lot of people.
Yeah, if file sizes don't get smaller, technically, then yeah, it'll be a problem, because you download what 5 games MVG, and then you're like, I gotta delete something.
But then I think you mentioned it, or Nate mentioned it. You're playing the game off Game Pass while the game is loading in the background, and then when the game is done, then you play the game like locally. Mm-hmm. I think that's a really clever idea.
Use xCloud xCloud.
xCloud. Sorry, not Game Pass. Yeah,
that'd be a clever way to do it for delivery. So it automatically starts up, and there's just like this. You don't even notice it, but this shift in resolution where it's like not streaming anymore, like when you're just playing. That could be a reveal that they have. Dude, I don't know what they call it, but
that would be really powerful. Like if you buy the game online, you can play it immediately. In the background, it's loading up in the background. I think that's a pretty big deal.
So, well, I hope that's something they have in mind. I feel like it might be. So we'll see. Then Bean with Bacon says, "What's the point of the new consoles? PC gaming is cheaper in the long run, and consoles haven't done anything but hold back game design for 2 decades, primarily in the FPS genre."
PC master race right here.
I would say probably convenience. A lot of people, I mean, as much as people like to build PCs, there are a lot of people who just want to get a box, put it in their TV, and just sit on the couch.
Yeah, but at this point, it is perceived convenience, because it is like people view it still as like you just put a disc in and play. But how many of us had to update our PlayStations? How many of us keep having to deal with all that crap?
I've never installed a graphics driver on my PlayStation ever, and
I have it on my PC. It does it automatically.
Okay, yeah, but I'm out of excuses.
Here's the thing: you gotta buy like hardware upgrades, don't you?
I've taught, like I said, for every one person who's like, I'll just build this PC, there's like 1,000 people who are like, I don't want to do that.
I can't. Yeah, well, it's also like I'm glad I didn't build my console, because it would definitely be on fire. I just paid a price, so anytime I get PCs, I have to get the pre-built kind, because I'm too stupid to build them.
No, but some people, I mean, like if you're talking about like PC, like some people, not everybody wants to play with like a mouse and keyboard. If you're talking about like first-person shooters,
you can hook controllers up in most current games run on those.
What?
Exactly, but the whole point was this: like if you're hooking up a controller to your PC, you could just have a console. You know what I'm saying? Like, isn't that like the whole perceived in terms of first-person shooter? You have the accuracy with the PC, like with the mouse and keyboard. Yeah. So if people just want to be able to play a game on and just buy a box, you just sit there, you just play the game, not have to worry about booting up a PC each time.
It puts you at like a disadvantage too if you're using a controller versus
mouse and keyboard.
Not in all the games. A lot of the more modern FPSs are coming over where if you use a controller, you get aim assist. You just get.
What's the game that everyone is turning off the PC players for? Yeah,
Warzone. Yeah,
that's because they're cheating and doing all kinds of other stuff.
Well,
don't worry about that on a console.
You kind of do.
not as much. I will say that got pretty ugly with.
That got really ugly.
He's got aimbot on console.
Just play what you want. Who cares?
Also, I want to win, Jordan. I want to win.
That's why he plays competitive games on the Switch against children.
Damn right. I have no problem admitting that.
You're beating the hell out of kids and buying yourself pizza like I'm the king.
Vigor on Switch, golden.
You did have some stories about Friday the 13th and just
people just not paying attention, you're just walking up on people killing.
Oh yeah. Hey, I got no shame in that.
I think there's also people go to work and they're on the computer all day and they're like, I just want to go home and sit on the couch and pick up a controller and play a game. So I do see that too. People are just like, I don't want to sit at the desk and play a PC tonight. So, Troy says, finally wrestling game talk. Shout out OJ and RGT. Yep, that is coming up. We're about to get there. We got to talk about this Mario update first, but that is coming, Sean. Ugh. We're gonna talk about WWE soon. Don't worry. It's an exciting topic. It's an exciting topic.
Riveting.
Yeah. Bean with Bacon says consoles ruin the first-person shooter genre forever.
No, they didn't.
This Bean's a Bacon person really does not like consoles.
Hey, it brought Halo, okay, and now now everyone on PC is really excited for Halo.
I just love the finality of that. Ruined forever. Like, sorry guys, if you installed Call of Duty Warzone on PS4, just smash your controller because you ruined it.
Cody says Cave Story Plus removed from eShop. What's up with Nicholas?
Lots.
Yeah.
Lots is up with Nicholas.
Sounds like a video. All right.
No, it's up on the eShop. It's not on Nintendo's website for the eShop.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Zildjian says Siege is only worth playing on PC. It should have never released on console. Had to give up way too much to be playable. You can't even lean on console.
It's just haters. It's just always haters. See what they're paying to shit on consoles.
I do know. I do know most of the time. Whenever I see people playing it, like whether it's on like advertisements or any of that stuff, where they'll put up for like the HyperX headset, they're all just playing on PC. So I assume that the majority of that player base is on PC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that doesn't mean there shouldn't be an option for people on console. I mean, you can. The thing about PC people is you can ignore consoles if you really don't want. Like, just ignore it. Like,
we try.
Stop worrying about what console peeps are doing. Just play your PC.
We try.
You're cheating and hacking and all that stuff.
We try, but there is a percentage of games coming out where, since people try to focus on what they can put on console, that they'll hold the game back. And that's kind of an annoying thing to a lot of people. Like he even said in that game, in Siege, you can lean left and right on console, not so much on PC, not so much on console. Thankfully, they were like, hey, let's actually put it on PC, as opposed to just being like, yeah, well, we're releasing it on console, so fuck it. Like,
it is gonna be interesting when the Series X and the PS5 come out and it becomes a requirement to have an SSD, because I'm starting to see some threads pop up about that on the PC side. People wondering if they have to upgrade to SSDs now, which I thought most PC people were on SSDs, but apparently it's not like 100% across the board yet. So
the chat saying you can lean on console.
Oh, there you go.
The chat saying you can lean. The chat saying that you can lean on console.
Theory debunked.
J2 Blue says bad voice direction can often lead to voice acting sounding terrible, in my opinion, especially if they are not seasoned actors. They're possibly talking about Trials of Man on that one.
Shenmue.
Shenmue.
Yeah, voice actors can actually kill it.
Oh yeah.
Like I was telling chat when we were finishing the game, like, despite what you actually think about the characters, I know there's a waifu war or whatever, but I fully like went into this game being like, oh, I'm gonna hate Aerith because I hated her in freaking Kingdom Hearts. It's the only time I knew her. But the freaking voice actors for Aerith in Kingdom Hearts was actual crap. Could not stand her. And then we get into this game and I'm like, oh my god, like, I love this character.
So
like
good. I would die for her.
And then on the flip side,
Jesse's
voice
still
actors
better.
for Jesse made Jordan fall in love with a video game character.
I mean, I listen, I love all of them. Like, it's fine,
I would
whatever.
buy Jesse's
but like,
bathwater.
even just the difference in those two voice actresses, like, I couldn't stand her, and now I absolutely love her.
but I mean, in the inverse of that, on the opposite end of the spectrum, that's why Metal Gear Solid 5 was one of the reasons why. Fuck that game. You got rid of David Hayter for Queefer Sutherland. Get out of here. It ruined it. It totally takes you out of the game. It totally takes you out of the game if you've been playing on. Just make him silent. You can't find someone that sounds like David Hayter to do the voice. You get something that's completely get out of it. That
was a whole different thing. That's Kojima trying to get in with Hollywood, right? Like,
well, yeah, and he ruined it.
You know, yeah, but that's his thing. You know, he's trying to get in with Hollywood and completely did David Hayter dirty, which was David Hayter would have been so much cheaper. That's another reason. Yeah, you can screw that game. David Hayter was hurt. It made me upset. I've always been playing the Metal Gear games and not have David Hayter. That's like backstabbing like trash.
River Elder says, if you could select the next Smash Ultimate DLC fighters, which characters would you choose? Goku. I'm gonna say Travis Touchdown.
Gordon Freeman. I've always been saying this, man. Gordon Freeman. Let's get him on there.
Oh my god.
Morgan Freeman, dude.
Gordon Freeman.
What was the question?
From Half-Life.
Smash Ultimate character. Which one do you want next?
Morgan Freeman.
Okay.
Jesse from Final Fantasy VII Remake.
It better be another Fire Emblem character, right?
Unironically, I would love it. Like, it'll never happen, but I would see Shinmu in there. He has such a very grappler. He's based on a fighting game series.
We need Sephiroth.
I would like to see
Sephiroth.
real answer is a Mortal Kombat.
It would just like rip the entire screen and just end the game.
They put Scorpion in there?
Yeah, you could dumb them down. They did that. They did that. What was that? DC,
the DC
versus
one where they couldn't have any blood in it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was rated T. You could work around it.
There's Bayonetta's in the game, so I mean, if you can have Bayonetta, you can have Scorpion. I think like a cool character. I mean, obviously everybody's talked about like Sora would be dope. You know, I'm not a big Kingdom Sora fan, but Sora and like if you read the lore, like his kid is awesome. He's really cool. I watch you know HMK. He has all his videos, and Sora's actually a really cool character. So Sora would be dope. I also think like if they could somehow get like Chrono in there, that would be sick too. I would love Chrono.
Solid sword wielders.
Yeah, I don't give a damn with these sword. I don't care. Give me another. Or look, I know Fire Emblem. We got a lot of characters in there, but I think it'd be really cool if Tiki was in the game. Tiki's awesome. She can transform into a dragon, and she's really cool.
If half the roster was Fire Emblem,
I'm ready for that direct. Let's go.
I put Tiki in there. I want to hear all the hate. I'd be so happy. Put Tiki in there, baby. Let's do it.
Man. They should put Hayabusa.
Hayabusa would be dope. Yeah, I made that in a video. I talked about.
I still kind of wish for another Xenoblade character.
Yeah.
So which
Rex?
would it be? Would Chrono or Sora get the biggest reaction?
Sora. The Kingdom Hearts weebs would just lose it. They'd be like, "It's our clown shoe god."
I think we need another Fire Emblem character.
I think I'd be more with Chrono though, because like
we don't have enough.
We've only ever really seen Chrono as his old school setup.
I'd be more with Chrono.
You know, on the like Super. It'd be really cool to see him brought up to like current time.
More niche though. Like I feel like more people know about Sora.
Yeah. That's true, but I mean, like you look at a character like Terry, for example. That's not as much as a known character, and he got in there. But you're right. Sora would be the bigger. That would be the bigger buzz. But Chrono would be dope. But yeah, he is another Sora. Okay. But he's an awesome.
Which one would be bigger then, Sora or Goku?
Oh, Goku.
Goku.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're throwing out stuff like that, they'll bring in Superman as long as we're playing make believe.
Goku would be like a meme. It would be such a meme. Like it would be a field day.
Can you imagine? There would be so many pictures of being like, now it's confirmed that Mewtwo is stronger than Goku.
Man. Can we just get? The next crossover should just be Super Smash Bros. Ultimate X Jump Force.
The last character should be Sakurai. Sakurai should just put himself as the last character.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
He's just like the Shang Tsung of the game. He just turns into any character.
Smash Ultimate is never ask me for anything ever again.
Yes.
It's like Nier Automata, where the last boss of Nier Automata's DLC was the president of Square Enix. It'd be funny if the last boss was somehow Reggie or something. They changed Master Hand.
AC the Human says maybe Obsidian steps in and helps with Fable.
Maybe
Obsidian apparently is working on their own RPG right now, like big AAA.
Yeah, but what is it? What is it? Is it Fable?
Apparently they just it's a Fable. Apparently they started it pretty recently, I think is what they were saying. So that's probably gonna be like a mid-gen game most likely that they'll show off at some point. But I mean they could have still helped out somewhat. So Microsoft definitely doesn't have a shortage of studios that could help make Fable. Let's see. Let me go over here to Streamlabs. I saw a few come through here. Just make sure I have them. I think one was, if I'm right, is Ibrahim. I saw it pop up, and it was about the game that was suggested last week. Here we go. Ibrahim Gooner says, so did you guys check out Hermie Hopperhead on PS1? Anyone?
I did check it out.
I haven't, but it's on the list to check out for sure. Like I took a look at the Poly Mega. I took a look at the YouTube video. The game looks really good, so I'm going to check it out.
Okay, drop it in that Poly Mega. Let's see. Simple Ring says, hello everyone. How do you make backups of your GameCube and Xbox games for preservation? Because I'm having trouble finding any resources online. Thanks in advance.
I would recommend go to GBA Temp, which is a great forum, and go to the appropriate forum for the system that you're interested in. And there's usually a backup guide or some more like a FAQ on what you need to do there.
From what I could tell, the GameCube pushes through its modem, if I'm thinking right, or you can have an SD, I believe. You can have a little SD plug on it. it'll push it to that. The Xbox just rips games though, I thought.
Yeah, but like I think is it Swiss, the GameCube utility that will like rip games for you and stuff. But if you go to GBA Temp, there's like a guide on how to do pretty much anything you want.
Dreamcast is weird. Dreamcast, you got to get like the serial plug. I have one around here because I did like 3 games and it took forever to do one. It like transfers over like it's like the broadband connector. It's weird.
Yeah, because I mean the GD-ROMs, you can't read them on a regular CD drive, so you got to rip them via serial cable.
I did one for Crazy Taxi and like something else. I was like, let me see how long it took. Like 40 minutes. It took forever. It felt like. And then does like a dev kit help with that MVG?
It does, yes.
It does? Okay, that's what I was curious.
But a dev kit will cost you about $2,000. So
okay, all right. That. 6DB says, "Have you paid your dues, Jack?" Yes, sir. The check is in the mail. Okay.
Someone's paying Jack. All right.
All right then. Let's go over to Mario Maker 2 update. Mario Maker 2 got an update. You can build worlds now, and it's pretty cool. I didn't check the update out myself. I didn't get a chance to. Did anyone check out the update?
No, I've seen
I'm trash, so I don't.
I've watched other people play, but I'm kind of waiting for my community to make some cool levels. So I was gonna check it out next week once it's developed a little bit.
Right. The idea is, of course, you can build overworlds. Basically, you can essentially make your own Mario level now. Mario game. Like you can build the whole thing. 40 different levels, 8 worlds.
Did anyone try this out?
No.
I was playing Final Fantasy VII Remake. Yeah.
And then Trials, I went right into Trials, but looking at it, it seemed pretty cool. I saw a few people playing it, and it looked like the overworld part was mostly, I don't want to say simplistic, but there wasn't as much to it. I think they just dropped it in so you could, of course, build the worlds. It looked like you do bridges like they showed, and you could change some of the overall styling for it. But the biggest part was that you literally can share an entire game on there, which was pretty cool. But I thought this was a pretty big update. Nate did not think it was that big of an update.
No, it's a big update. It just came way too late.
Oh yeah, I'll agree with that.
There's no excuse when you launch a game as a service like a Mario Maker and it takes you 10 months to make a substantial update, and any update in between those 10 months was something relatively minor. Like, we had the Link update in December, but you can tell with the way they released this that Nintendo was not pleased with the sales of this game. They took whatever was in development and they dropped it into one major last update, and that's exactly what we got here. Even the Super Mario Brothers 2 skin, it's like they were developing a theme and they said, no one bought the game, we're not going to commit resources to it because this type of game, we need long-term sales, and they're not getting those long-term sales. This game sold 2.5 million copies in its first 3 days, and as of the end of December, its lifetime sales are only 5 million copies. So that means it had a significantly huge drop-off since it launched last June.
What did Mario Maker sell on the Wii U?
Yeah, but it hold up here. I agree. I agree with most of what you're saying, Nate. But I think the issue is, I think the issue is that it already outsold the Wii U.
Come on, you got user bases though. The Wii U had 13 mil, and this has.
The game is not even a year old yet, and if you're going to release something, maybe they messed up, whatever the case is, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't release it and you can't get more sales though, especially in the long run. A lot of games sell for a long period, so even if they drop the price or if they do something like that, that doesn't mean, like, 5 million is nothing to sweat at. Most developers would love if their game sold 5 million, and it's not a main Mario game. It's not Super Mario Odyssey 2. You know what I'm saying? It's not that. So I don't think they're as upset with the sales as you maybe it's perceived, considering they did outdo the first one, and on top of that, they're going to get more sales because of this. They're going to continue selling the game, and they're going to get more of it. And it's not even a year old yet. It's going to be a year, in June, right? It's going to be a year in June. 5 million plus. If you combine that with New Super Mario Bros., they're 10 million for 2D Mario on top of the 15 million or 14 million or whatever they got for Super Mario Odyssey. I think that's pretty good. Honestly, I don't think it's really too bad.
I think so. This is just my personal opinion, complete speculation. As somebody who did buy the game, played the game, loved the game, I dropped it really fast. I played it for about a month and then just completely forgot it even existed. I actually have it installed by accident. I feel like maybe Nintendo saw those numbers of like, okay, the game isn't selling as strong, but also the people who even own it have quit. So it seems like this update is kind of a, hey, come back. Hey, keep creating. Hey, keep being excited about it. So it seems like not just a sales boost, but maybe just a player base.
I was a little. I thought it would have sold more than what it did. I will say.
Yeah, I'm a little bit
did
shocked.
Nintendo.
Thought it would have hit the.
We had, as of October of last year, people coming out and saying Nintendo is not pleased with the sales performance of this game, and the way they handled this update is clear evidence of that. You can't commit a full team to developing new themes and new skins to a game that is supposed to sell consistently over a long period of time, because these are free updates.
I mean,
the game did not sell, so Nintendo did not make the money they were expecting.
They
over
couldn't even
long term.
They couldn't even do that with the Super Mario Party, and that's at 9 million right now.
Mario Party is a whole different.
No, it's not a whole different thing. Hold up, let's talk about that, because people think that you're gonna get maybe Nintendo didn't want to continuously work on the game. They wanted to work on other things, because Super Mario Party, like you said, they sold 9 million plus, and they haven't had any updates for that game.
Mario Party needs help. Okay.
And look at Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. They didn't know updating that game either, and that's the best selling game on the Switch.
22.9. Yep.
Yeah. So just because something doesn't, maybe they didn't have plans for that. Maybe they were just gonna say, hey, this is gonna be 10 months or this is gonna be 7 months.
Oh my gosh, Mario Maker 2 is not even on their top list here.
So maybe their whole strategy is, if the game is not doing hot, they give free incentives for people to go back so they can sell more.
Luigi's Mansion 3 sold more than Mario Maker 2.
That's why ours is coming back in relevancy this year.
New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe sold more. Oh my god.
I'm just gonna say, like, even though I'm not really big into the game, the thing that with me mostly for that game is it's cool. You play through it. If you want to make your own course, you can. I think the part that draws me off the most is the single player isn't necessarily my cup of tea, really, but the troll levels and the very difficult levels, things that I personally are not good at, I'm not drawn to that. So I played through a couple. I get really tilted and salty, and those aren't things that I necessarily want to like grind at and like, oh, I beat this level, like ha ha ha, good job. It's really only like 2 minutes long. Like, no, I'm gonna go to something else and I feel more satisfied. Like, that's just how I am. But the thing is, you can't say Link wasn't a huge update, because if you like watch people who either stream that game or they are creators for that game, that changed so much about the game. It made so many more puzzles and opportunities, and then the fact that they launched how many like different top hats for this? It was like 5 or 6, like the Goomba and the frog. Like, it adds so many new factors and gameplay elements to the game, to where I'm watching people who are friends of mine who stream this game every single day of their life. They are ecstatic because they know it's going to add so many new flavors to these different types of courses. So people who really love the game and who are sold on it, they already know, and they've already been sought onto this. It's really hard to get a new population into this. Second off, when side-scroller platformers aren't even necessarily the most popular genre right now. And so, I mean, if they add more, that's good for them. But I don't think like we should be sitting here and being like, oh, they're doing it because they're not happy with it. Again, 5 mil is a good number, but it's not a cookie cutter Mario game at this point. Like, it's definitely more of the hardcore, because if you watch some of those maps, they'll make you cry, because it's like, yeah, I can't do that.
They're dumb. They're not even made to be fun.
Yeah, like it tilts me, but like watching people like actually like learn that on stream or something, like they're really accomplished with it. That's fine. I personally couldn't, but there's a certain type of person that really enjoys those games. Like, good for you, Boo. I'm happy for you.
I just want to.
Not everybody's gonna be like that.
I just want to say shout out to Trihex. By the way, that guy is literally the best Mario Maker streamer in my opinion. Love that guy. So
he's pretty good.
I just want everyone to realize that Super Mario Party is on version 1.0, and it's about to outsell Splatoon 2. That is all.
Weirdos.
Solid game, man.
Oh my gosh.
Weirdos.
I mean,
you know what? The update for Mario Party is coming. You know what it's called? Super Mario Party 2. It's coming out next year.
My God.
But like I said, I think Nate definitely has a point. Like, I agree with some of his points. I agree with what Click was saying too. But I just think that the game, I don't know if it's as popular as maybe people thought it was going to be, because like Click said, I don't play the game because first of all, I don't want to take forever. I don't get paid to to make Mario levels. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna sit here and spend all day making Mario levels and all this stuff like that. And people troll levels. It pisses me off too. Like, my own community trolled the hell out of me with stupid levels, and I'm not gonna spend all day doing all that. You know, so I think that's the thing with it. But like I said, you can still get more people to buy the game because they got updates. You know, so that's cool. It's cool that they did it, and it did. Like I said, it did sell more than the previous one. So, but yeah, I agree with.
It got outsold by Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe.
Because I told you, some people just want to be able. Some people just want to be able to pick up a game and play. Like I have a daughter, right? I'm not going to give her Mario Maker. Hey, go have fun, type in a bunch of codes to play the game or play the 100 hard person challenge or the story. You're just going to give them New Super Mario Bros. You know what I'm saying? You're just going to give them that. And there's both of them, and they both came out not around the same time, but within a year or so of each other. So they're both selling in tandem. They're both around 5 million something. So that's 10 for 2D Mario. 10 million plus.
I hate to say it, they could have ported the 3DS Mario game, and it probably would have outsold Mario Maker 2 as well.
Any just normal Mario game. Like Mario Maker, there's too many. Man. Even if you look at like a game like Dreams on PS4, right? Like, yeah, it's cool, but like, is Dreams lighting up the sales charts? No, people don't want to sit there and
nobody
go
bought that.
Yeah, people don't want to go through a bunch of troll. I played it. It's cool, but people don't. I don't want to be constantly going through and looking at somebody made this level. Okay, no, somebody made. It's like people don't want to do all that. They just want the level. They want the game. You play the game, and that's that. They don't want to be going through and making a bunch of levels and taking all their time doing all that stuff, man. So I mean, it's like that with some of these like creation games. Like, people just don't want to do it, and that's why Little Big Planet died too, right? Where's Little Big Planet?
You do realize though, we're set up for the next Switch. They do Mario Maker 3D, and it's just all a 3D world or 3D.
That'll even be worse. That's even going to be worse.
I'm not making the levels. What?
People aren't gonna, 3D is a whole different thing. There's gonna even be more troll levels. There's gonna be more problems with creating a 3D maker. It sounds good on paper, but I don't know if it's gonna be good like execution.
But what if, they made it so that you could be playing in one world, and then the next world you go from Mario 64 to Mario Sunshine.
Oh god.
Boom. Game of the year. There we go.
Jesus.
Oh man, that's I mean, they're gonna probably do another Mario Maker at some point. I think the part that I was more disappointed rather than the sales was that it didn't do as much on social media or Twitch as I thought it would do over a long period of time.
And that's because of Nintendo really fumbled a lot with this game's roadmap. Like, compare Animal Crossing's roadmap to what they did with Super Mario Maker 2. Animal Crossing has had a clear roadmap of how they're going to support this with updates since launch. They gave you April with the Easter and Earth Day, and they're already talking about future events. With Mario Maker 2, they launched the game. They're like, we're going to patch in friend support. Yeah, that took until like October. And then we didn't get another update until December when they added in Link. So the first 6 months was, we're waiting for you to add online functionality to play with our friends. So the bookmarking and discovery options of the game are still abysmal. There's a lot of ways Mario Maker 2 went backwards from Mario Maker 1. Mario Maker 1 has a better UI design for creation. So Mario Maker 2 they fumbled a lot with the game, and now we're just, this update is good. A lot of awesome content, a lot of awesome tools for creators. But ultimately, it's just another one of Nintendo's botched online agendas.
Not wrong.
Well, so what do we do about Super Mario Party, though? Anything?
Delete it. Okay.
You make a Super Mario Party 2 and you profit again.
Exactly right.
They're gonna do it. I know it.
Bring another one out.
Oh man. There's like 5 boards in this thing.
I'm telling you, it's really more because of the way that the game plays, man. I mean, I think, like I said, like I get what you're saying, but dude, I'm telling you, people just don't. I'm telling you, for people with kids, if you put Mario Maker in front of them, they don't want to play that crap,
I get
man.
That.
Like they really don't. They rather just have something in front of them. So that's why Super Mario Maker is selling so well. That's why it's doing so well, man. It's because they want to just be able to play a game. Like, they don't care about continuous updates. Most of these people don't care. They just want to get a game right in front of them.
Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. Yeah, that's why.
If they made Super Mario Party Maker, that's not going to sell better than Mario Party.
No. I just mean,
wait. You're on to something.
Mario Party with more content and online that's not terrible.
Absolutely. No, I wasn't disagreeing with what you're saying. I'm just saying, like, if they just made a Super Mario Party Maker, I can guarantee.
I don't want that.
It wouldn't sell was much. And let's say you could make as many boards and all that crap
that would be terrible, probably.
Dude, it wouldn't sell more than Mario Maker, or sorry, more than the Super Mario Party, the regular one. So
yeah. Let's all right, Sean. WWE 2K21.
Good. Rest in peace. It needs a year. It needs a year off. It needs a time off. The series has needed time off for the past 3 years, I would say.
Yeah, it's been pretty bad. It is canceled. However, it sounds like Monday they're going to announce something else.
Yeah, I hope it's a new Legends of WrestleMania.
It's going to be something like that. It's going to be some arcade Legends something, most likely. Yes, is what I would assume. But what if they remade an older game?
You would have roster problems.
Probably. Well, no, they own a lot of those Legends contracts, though.
Yeah, but you still have licensing with a lot of things, like even songs and stuff like that. Like when you play the older wrestling games, a lot of those song licenses have run out because the original person who made the songs isn't with the WWE anymore.
Okay, my mic is getting staticky.
Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah.
I think you're okay now.
No,
okay.
I heard it.
Just now I heard it.
Unplug my mic and roll the dice, and then plug it back in. I don't know. I'm concerned. So 2K21.
We can't understand you at all now.
Don't worry, I'll host. Hey, 2K21 sucks. Who wants to talk about this? Who wants to talk?
Let's hold it down and beat it up.
Don't ask me, dude. I'm sitting down on this one.
Yeah,
2K21. I remember I made a video. Just pretend that I'm John. I made a video and so many people watched it. It sucked. Didn't you make a video too, Sean? It sucked, right?
I did.
Suck?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it sucked.
Tell me about how bad the last one, the one on Switch, sucked. Right, it ran at like 12 frames per second. Right?
Yeah, fuck that game.
Yeah,
come on. I bought mine from Beat 'em Ups. I bought mine from Woodhawker. Woodhawker bought it, hated it so much, he DM'd me and said, "Do you want this for $20?" And I went, "Sure." So he gave it to me.
Okay, I unplugged the mic.
He sold it to you.
It popped once. Here, talk for a little bit.
All right, 2K21's canceled.
You're good.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I just unplugged it and plugged it back in. So okay, I don't know what happened. 2K21's canceled. They're going to announce Monday, but they had that breakup with Ukes and Visual Concepts, right? So
yes.
Visual's all that's left now. I don't even know what Ukes is going to go off and do. They said they're doing so AEW.
Yeah, an AEW game would be nice. I feel like that will be something that will probably be announced this year. It won't come out or anything this year, but I think they'll talk about it at least this year. But yeah, you still have Retromania Wrestling coming out in July, which is the spiritual successor to WrestleFest. So at least there's something.
Keep talking about that game on Twitter, Sean. Is something coming up in that?
No, we'll see.
Nah, okay. Okay. All right, Sean. All right. Yeah, so I don't know. You think maybe they should just drop the yearly thing and just do it every 2 years or something, every 3 years.
They should, but it's almost at a point now where it's like, imagine if Madden was canceled for a year.
They could just push a roster update and sell it for $20 the following year. So every other year
But that would be dependent. That would be dependent on the core game being good. And the core game hasn't been good.
So this came out. It was Shut Your Mouth, and then it was Here Comes the Pain. Do you remember how many years were between these two?
It wasn't very long. That's the thing. They've actually been doing it. They used to churn out games all the time. You know, the PS2 and the Xbox all had their own wrestling games made by different companies, though. That was the big thing.
Yeah, so they kind of switched off, similar to like what Call of Duty, I guess, does now. But I thought it was every other year though with them, because they do the PS2 game, not the GameCube, and then we had PS2 and Xbox. I thought released at the same time, because they had Raw, and then they had Raw 2, then they had WrestleMania 21, and they just got to take some time and redo this game. This game it's been pretty bad. It was funny. It was funny though
for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you bought it and then you reinstalled it, and then you deleted it again. You've installed and deleted that game twice so far because you heard there were AEW things in it, and then you were just like, nope.
Well, no, I downloaded a bunch of them, and then it lost all my downloads, and half the downloads didn't even register. And so I had to wait in order to re-download it because of the way calls are on that game. You can only download 20 things in 24 hours.
So what's the prediction for Monday, Sean? You said Legends?
Legends of WrestleMania 2.
Yeah, you're probably right. I'm gonna be honest. It's probably gonna be like a Legends. Like it's gonna be an arcade, lower budget style game most likely. Or they're remaking Here Comes the Pain.
No way, no chance in hell.
Okay, I wanted to throw it out there. Okay, Evan, we got Discord questions.
All right, we'll go with everyone's first video game console. What do you guys got?
Oh gosh,
the Atari 2600.
Yep,
my
2600.
first memory. Yeah, my
parents had the Atari 2600. I had the NES.
So I guess well, I think mine was my parents bought me educational games as like a 2-year-old. I think for the Atari 2600, I'd have like math games with Big Bird.
Nice.
A lot of NES, Super Nintendo. Jordan, your first system was the Xbox 360.
Yeah, I was about to say, since I'm 12, I was, I had to,
I'm gonna guess.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess your first system was the. I'm gonna say Super Nintendo, Jordan.
So when I had both the NES and the Super Nintendo. I played both of those, and then I got the N64 right when it came out. So like, I remember the N64 the most, but I do remember playing original Mario Bros on the NES.
Okay, very good. Do we have any Discord questions left, Evan?
We got a few more. We can.
Okay.
This is Switch 2 speculation. What do you think? DDR6 or HBM4 RAM?
Neither of those. Things.
Probably neither. They're just doing the DD. What are they doing? DDR4 X now, and I think they're talking about DDR5. Honestly, it's up to NVIDIA what they're going to go with whatever chip they create. So it's definitely not going to be HBM. I'll tell you that. We're trying to keep this thing reasonable in terms of pricing. But yeah, it's not going to be anything like that. We got another Discord question, Evan.
Do you think the expansion to the news bookmarking for Nintendo is a way to kind of get around the lack of robust eShop experience?
Maybe, I don't know. The eShop's a mess. I don't know.
Yeah,
the eShop needs help.
Yes,
I only search things now. I don't look at the sales. I don't do anything.
I went browsing the other day, and it was a
video
mistake.
title. eShop needs help.
I did. I recorded a video about me browsing the eShop, and I stopped and realized that the game that I had found was you lining up a sniper shot on an Olympic ski jump.
Ski sniper.
John talked about that last month.
And then I ended up going down a rabbit hole of games that I realized what they were doing. They sell the game. It's an RPG Maker game. It's $15. They have like 20 of these things on the eShop right now, and they will sell you experience booster × 3, damage booster × 3, and then some ultimate weapon thing you can get. Each purchase is separate for $3 a piece, and they're little microtransactions. They have like 20 of those games. So eShop's kind of buried right now. The other day it set a record actually for most games released in one day for a console ever on the eShop. It was like 34 games or something like that in one day. Yeah. I don't know. The bookmarking thing's not going to help. That eShop needs a lot more than that. What's another Discord question?
When you beat a game, do you watch the end credits or do you skip them?
Fuck no.
Always skip. I don't even feel bad about it.
I respect the people who make the game, but no.
Doesn't sound like it.
I respect them by playing and buying their game and giving them money.
Yeah, if I see a thing where it says like background shader artist 22 is Donovan Reynolds, it's like I don't need to know Donovan's name. I already saw his.
It really
you guys gotta thank the guy. Hey, thanks Donovan. Appreciate
you, Donovan.
It kind of depends though, because like with Final Fantasy, we just played through that. When we got done that, I kind of sat there for a little bit, just kind of staring at the credits for a minute. I'm like pondering what's happening. So by accident, I was looking at the credits.
That's why every company has to do with what HAL does, where they make an interactive mini game with the credits.
Yes,
like in Smash Brothers Melee, you shot the people's names.
Yeah.
Interactive.
No, I mean, also like I like listening to the music. Like sometimes the credits roll music is like one of the best like fanfares of the entire game. So from a musician standpoint,
sometimes it's like the movies. Sometimes you get like mid-roll teasers of the next game or something. So I usually sit and watch the credits.
In Trials, you only get access to the extended content after watching it. So
that's
I'm telling you, Jordan, Final Fantasy VII has a better song than Death Stranding there.
I mean, that's okay to be followed. That's cool.
Hollow over Low Roar.
I disagree. I like Low Roar better.
I like Low Roar better. The songs are good. Listen, Final Fantasy is some of the best music out there, but Low Roar hit different.
But
so.
but Hollow's like actual like message makes a lot more sense with what's going on.
You talking about licensed music here, better than original composers?
Hold on, the actual original soundtrack for
licensed
Death
music here?
Yeah.
No, well, the original soundtrack for Death Stranding is really, really good too. Like I listen to that all the time.
They also got a lot of licensed music in there too, though.
Yes and no, but I mean, if it goes with it, it goes with it.
I think just where they placed it really really worked well for Death Stranding. But
Yeah.
like Hollow right at the end, that was
Yeah,
that was
I think my problem is
good.
I beat a lot of games, and I feel like I have the thing where I just feel like I don't want to spend hours of my month watching any credits. So I think it's just kind of a matter of like I don't care anymore. I got to go to that.
Okay. That's fair. Do we have any Discord questions left, Evan? Otherwise, I'll go through some of the.
Any of you ever play Army of Two games? What has ever happened?
I played
to
the
that
first
franchise?
one. I liked the first one, but I kind of fell out with what was
40th
the
Day.
40th Day. I fell out of it with that one.
The 40th Day was bad. Cartel was.
I liked the first one because the idea of actually working to get like the co-op part was pretty cool. I didn't like it as much with an AI. I liked it more with like a friend playing, but I liked it on the 360. I don't know, it was fun.
I
Back
played
in
them
the
both
day.
actually just a couple of years ago. I played them for the first time. I think it was when I moved and I had this time period where I didn't have my office for a couple of days. I like couldn't do anything, and a buddy of mine was like, "Here, kill time," and he gave me both the games. So I beat them like in the last couple of years, and I beat them single player and even single player. I actually think they're really good.
Okay. I just like the idea of being able to rip off a car door and use it as a shield. I thought that was cool.
The mask.
We have there you go. We have Discord questions there, Evan. Still.
Nah, I think we're good. Yeah.
Okay. I'll go through some of the super chats for us to finish up here. Philip Patterson says Fable has value as an exclusive because think about it, we're probably 2 years plus away from another Elder Scrolls or Witcher game. Yeah, but we're probably also about 2 years away from Fable. If they did some wild thing where it somehow came out like the beginning of next year or something, Fable's probably like late 2021, early 2022 or something. David says Fable, except it's made from Software.
Yeah.
Wonder what that would be like. Oh, that is. Oh yeah, that would probably Microsoft would probably have what you call it as well. Elden Ring. That'd probably be there too. I think that's a next gen title, I thought. Seraph says expecting stronger PS5 version to be announced. Probably not.
No,
I don't think so. I think what we have in front of us right now is what the PS5 is going to be. And it'll probably be an actual like rectangular box. It won't be a tower. So there you go.
I can respect that.
Yep. Joe says, why haven't we seen Halo yet? Not normal. We haven't seen Halo yet because as MVG keeps alluding to it may not come out this year.
Because it's running behind schedule.
Yeah, that's what everyone's concerned about.
Just come out and say it, Microsoft. Just
they might
tell
as well.
now. It'll be okay. Just let us know.
What if they disprove that in a few weeks?
I like this. I like where Nate's going here. All right.
Well, I feel like Nate, you and I need to get on a Nate to hate and hash this out.
Oh, I like when Nate's on my side. That's good. That means
But that might be bad for you.
Oh, what? No. That means Halo Infinite might come out this year. That's
about that.
What?
Yeah. Have you seen gameplay of that game yet?
I have not.
How long ago was that game?
I also, to be fair though, I haven't seen gameplay for any Series X game. So
true, yeah. We've seen some great cutscenes, just the best.
But
we're on a level
technically,
playing field.
Technically, you have for the PlayStation 5 with Godfall.
Yeah, that looked great.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Gonna go put that pre-order in right now.
I'm not saying it looked good. I'm just saying you saw something.
And then we have unhelpful Yoda. Can we get Metal Jesus on here 1 week?
I can hit up the Cheez-Its. See if you want to come on.
All right, here we go. All right.
We have Cheez-Its now?
Metal Cheez-Its.
I didn't know we
Metal
got refreshments.
We will look into that. Get Metal Jesus on the podcast. Very cool.
He's a busy man. He may be hard to get a hold of. That dude is always working 15 million projects.
I got ways to talk to him.
You're just gonna DM like a picture of you with a pizza. I can send you one too.
Okay, we talk a lot actually. Well, not a lot, but I talk to him at least once a month.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you want to get him on the podcast? I think it'd be cool. Very cool. Then we have Christian says, weird question. What car do you guys drive, and can you drive manual transmission car?
I don't drive. I don't have a car, and I can't drive stick.
I can drive stick. That's actually up until this past car, I've always had a manual transmission. So yes, I can.
I drive a Mini Cooper.
I have an AMC.
What about you?
Oh,
Sean?
you're a great man.
What do you got over there, Sean?
Drive an AMC Pacer. AMC Pacer.
What you got, Sean?
I don't know.
Man? You got
You
anything
post on your
cool?
Instagram, right?
Next question.
You don't want to tell me what you got? What you driving for?
I mean, it's older, anyways.
I'm not okay. I ain't trying to push you. Let me just. I drive.
No, push Sean. Make him say what his car is.
Say that.
You're
Sean.
driving me
Come on.
insane. Just answer the question.
Say that.
Make him say he has that Corolla.
It is a used, older kind of Mercedes.
A Mercedes.
Look, if you do the repairs yourself, they're fine. I have been driving Mercedes cars for the past 10 years. Back when I was making like minimum wage jobs and shit like that. Like I would buy cheaper old Mercedes, and then if you just do the work yourself, or you have a friend who knows how to do work on them, like they're great. It's just I've never gone to an actual Mercedes dealership to have my car serviced.
This man's got the cheapest pussy wagon in the business. I can respect that.
John, did you get that Tesla yet?
No, I didn't get the Tesla. I do want a Tesla.
Yeah,
That'd be
fuck
cool.
you with the Tesla.
I
What do you drive, John?
I
Let's talk
drive
about your little
I
souped
drive
up car.
a very practical Ford.
It is no. Keep going.
It
very,
tuned up really well in that video.
It's a very practical Ford car. It's black. It's a Taurus. Here we go.
Yeah. What kind of Taurus?
It's a black Taurus.
But doesn't it have like a couple letters at the end of it, like 3 letters?
Might have an S and H and an O. Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Pretty nice, John.
It might be a pretty nice car. Buy used. That's all I'll say.
Yes, always buy a used car. Now, you get better value.
I've got a very good economy car. I got a Chevy Cruze, the like the souped up ones with the turbocharged. It's a nice little fast car, but they're really good on price. It's really good, and they're really good on price. I like it. So yeah,
My
Chevy
car is
Cruze.
very street legal, by the way. Everything's fine with it.
2013 Chevy Cruze, the RTZ ones or whatever. That little moonroof. It's nice. It's
You have a show.
Very affordable though.
If
Very
you have
affordable.
a show, just make sure you get it tuned. That's all.
Yeah, very affordable. I like Sean's car though. Sean's car is pretty cool.
Because then you can send Sean Twitter messages of your car.
Yeah, this thing's fast as hell. Well, I rode in it before you tuned it.
Yeah, it was. That was when. Yeah, that was when you were still in the area. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like when you first got it.
We have another Discord question, Evan?
No, we're still doing.
Let me go
the super
through.
chats
Oh,
and
okay,
stuff.
cool. We're good then. All right, cool. So we'll finish up here. Being with Bacon says aim assist is built-in cheating.
Whoa.
That's what I said. Everybody is aimbot.
Oh man.
Can't be cheating if everyone's cheating.
Bring me
right.
Joy-Con says
Right.
RGT85. What's your favorite pizza? Papa Murphy's with a question mark.
No, I just get local pizza places, like because
Those are the
back.
best.
Yeah, I mean, when I lived in the South, all the local pizza places sucked. Like,
Yeah, they're
it's real Italian. It's like
They're garbage here, bro.
So, like-
Local here is trash.
Yeah, like I would just eat chain pizza when I lived in the South, but since I moved back up north, it's like I, do business with the local places because they're actually.
And then we have JD Hall says, can the Switch stay relevant against Lockhart, etc.?
Yes.
I would say yes, and actually, I think Lockhart benefits the Switch anyway because the developers will be creating for Lockhart, and the Switch is, much more close to Lockhart than it is the Series X. So
If anything has taught me with Animal Crossing is that games make the system. So look at Animal Crossing, and Switch is blowing out everything right now in terms of sales. Yes, there's going to be new systems, but games are what people buy the systems for. I mean, so that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. So as long as Nintendo has games, then they're going to have a competitive system.
and then Mr. Pete says, didn't Mark Cerny say file sizes should decrease due to cutting out redundant data? He did. Yep, he said that with Spider-Man with the lamppost example.
He did say that, but 4K textures and all that stuff ultimately will increase the game sizes over time.
Yes, that's what I was thinking with like Lockhart. Let's say they target 1080p, 1440p, somewhere in there. Maybe the texture, maybe because of smart delivery, it's just smaller because it doesn't have redundant data anymore. But you're right with like Series X, and they're even talking about 8K with some of that stuff. Those might be some pretty big files. But they're gonna sell you a memory card for like $250.
Jesus.
No, I think the memory cards will be like 180 or something like that.
Still,
The 1 terabyte ones, yeah. It won't be cheap. Brian says Super Mario Sunshine Remastered is more hyped than next gen at DirectV Games.
Wow.
There's the lie.
For that response, where's the lie?
There's a lot of lies.
Full of a Mac says Xbox Store is showing Wasteland 3 pre-order, and it says Xbox One next to it. Looks like you will be able to see which version you have downloaded in the future. I think that was part of like the smart delivery thing as well.
Yep.
So it can apparently detect what system you're on, what version of that system. So if it's like the next gen, but it's like a Lockhart versus X, it'll be able to tell. And then it's a good idea by Microsoft to have all that set up to make it real easy. Bean with Bacon says Halo didn't do anything but take many steps backwards in terms of FPS game design. The original Halo felt like a mediocre Quake 2 mod when it first came out. It was just a wannabe Tribe/Quake.
Damn, man.
All I can say to that is
you took that to heart.
all
John.
I can say to that is Tribes and Quake didn't have Blood Gulch.
Ooh. That's
They just said everything else, I
They don't
guess.
have blood gulch.
That's all there is to it. Just
Some
didn't have,
revisionist history going on over there.
didn't have
Yeah,
Blood Gulch.
Halo was for console gamers out there, man, and like being able to play like LAN parties. It was amazing because it was easy.
Absolutely.
Life-changing.
We can't be taking PCs, but
Well,
especially
even
back
then,
then,
it was a big deal for first-person shooters. In
yeah,
general.
we can't be moving PCs around. We would just take our CRT TVs, take our Xboxes, and play. So I don't know.
Well,
like you said, revisionist history going on and all.
It was
this
actually
nonsense.
it was a very logical step to the GoldenEye kids, because you got to think a lot of us like played like years and years of GoldenEye, and that was the next big console game. So all of a sudden it was GoldenEye, but you could plug the consoles together. It was game.
It was a smooth transition, man. When we went straight from GoldenEye, bam, right into
it was
right into
straight up.
Halo. So
it was real hype when it went to PC too. So that was in like 2003. Gilbert Moore says, anyone excited for No More Heroes 3? I can't wait. I feel like some people just forgot about that game.
I am excited for, but there's been no new information.
That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem. I've covered it pretty much. I've pretty much made a video on every single piece of information, and we need to actually see it though. Like we need to actually get some more information. All we've gotten is it's coming 2020. And that's it. We
don't have like a clear sit-down gameplay with it yet. Either, right?
There's no real gameplay of it. There's no that gameplay that they showed. That was just what they think it's gonna look like.
It was like the quick time event kind of thing, right?
Utter the words in the next direct.
I don't know.
I sure as hell wouldn't.
But we just need to actually see some more info. And once we get it, then people can get excited about it. But you have to remember, No More Heroes is not like a huge massive.
Yo, if No More Heroes 3 comes out before Bayonetta 3, though.
At this point, who knows?
It probably will.
It might.
Probably will.
KMJ says, do you think in 5 to 10 years Wii U games will become collectible like the GameCube have become? I kind of do, yeah. I think because there were so few Wii U's out there that, yeah, I could see the games definitely, and maybe even the systems, a decade from now, getting a little harder to find. Kiz says, if PC minimum specs aren't raised, then PC may hold back consoles for next-gen third-party games, at least till PC overtakes again. I think the minimum requirement they'll raise mostly is the SSD. Like, you'll just have to have an SSD, that's all.
And the only real difference is the PlayStation, the Sony SSD. We have to, wait, apparently, to get up to that tier.
Yeah, because it's not quite there yet with, I think they need SATA 4, if I'm not mistaken, for that. And that's going to be out towards the end of this year, at which point, I mean, if let's say Sony ports one of their games from the PS5 to PC, they'll just make you buy one of those fast NVMEs, I guess, or do something, I don't know. And then Wolfman says, I would go with 0 for Mega Man, 0 for Smash. Alex says, have any of you tried Yo Noid 2? Good game.
No, I looked it up when that comment came in. It's a fan game. Because I didn't think there was an actual.
I played the original Yo Noid, and I think I got a pizza with it too. From my dad went and got me a pizza with it. When
It's a shitty game, but it's not as bad as people make it out.
I like this comment. VIRL says, Seasons of Heaven 2020. Let's go.
Let's do it, baby.
You remember that game?
Of course I do.
Zildjian says issue with Mario Maker 2 is the building is impossible. They need to push an update to use another Switch like the Wii U gamepad. Wheel system is bad.
I just came up with an interesting idea. What if you could use your phone as a touchscreen to build your own level?
That would be good.
Hire me, Nintendo, you fuck.
Well, so I feel like that's actually a genius idea because I imagine even just your toolkit. Imagine if you just literally pick tools off your screen.
It makes perfect sense.
It does.
Then we have Ian says, I want a Switch port of Simpsons Hit and Run.
Hell yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'd be
That
on
game
that.
rules ass.
Yeah. Mega Nerd says, what's one dead series that a company could drop a trailer for out of nowhere that would hype you up in disbelief it's being made? They already said what I was going to Mega Man Legends 3.
Skies of Arcadia.
Is Chrono Trigger dead? Or Skies of Arcadia?
Chrono Trigger, Skies of Arcadia.
I will say, I'm going to say Mega Man X9 because X has been gone for a while.
Parasite Eve.
Parasite Eve.
What if Sony dropped the Legend of Dragoon, like new Legend of Dragoon's coming out, like for PS5?
Yo,
That
man,
would be
what if that's what Blue Point was making?
That would be
I
awesome.
love it.
Maybe Chameleon Twist 3. That'd be cool.
Mass Effect.
Well, that's coming.
Mass Effect.
That's
That
coming.
doesn't suck.
Is it?
that'd be-
Yeah,
Is it Jordan?
Is it Jordan?
sure.
Is it? It's going to
Sure
be Mass
is.
Effect and then Skate back to back.
Hopefully, it's not a massive disappointment like the last one.
Toshi says, in Mario Maker, I still want to be able to place water lava, so it's not limited to jungle or castle levels. If I wanted an oasis in the desert, for example. Hella J's Adventures says, TMNT for Smash.
Yes. I'll take TMNT for Smash.
Alex
You got-
says, oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Do you guys remember that game TMNT Smash Up? Who played that game?
Yes.
I didn't play that one.
I do
really-
remember that game.
It's a really bad Smash clone.
Yeah, that
You
game
guys
was
should play that. So
terrible.
anybody who wants turtles in Smash, go play that game.
No.
Alex says, thank you guys for still being here. Love you. Thanks, Alex.
Happy to be here.
Console Gamer says Mario 35th Anniversary Collection this year, Mario Party and a sports-related one, 2021. That better be Strikers related. And sequel to Odyssey in 2022. I'd say that's a fair prediction. You still got to get Breath of the Wild in there somewhere too, Breath of the Wild 2. But yeah, that'd be a pretty good lineup. And then Paper Mario, throw that in there somewhere. Corsonic says we need a true Mario Party game. I want Mario Party 11 with good boards to play on, and I mean longer boards. Super Mario Party has good mini games, very short boards. That was the biggest complaint I saw was that the boards were not, I guess, different enough, and there weren't enough of them. Tesla's Volta Game says Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Wishlist, Skull Kid, Dr. Robotnik, Ryo Hazuki, Nightmare from Soul Calibur, Knuckles, Knights, Gordon Freeman, Sephiroth, Team Fortress 2 rep.
Skull Kid is actually really cool.
That's a lot of ass. Like, jeez.
Sakurai's working until he's dead.
We have good Skull Kid.
This game will not be done until every video game IP character is in it. Apparently.
Yeah.
And your OC, your original Sonic characters are also going to be in. This is
Sonic
Nightblade.
is going to be in there.
Sonichu, yeah.
Ty Queen, no message. Thanks, Ty. And then IDK says Spawn Wave is pretty neat. And
Kind
Where's
of.
the lie?
Zaire Miller says, do you think Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 would still be time exclusive? I almost don't think it will be. I don't know. I almost feel like they're just going to drop it on everything.
There's a lot of questions.
I think it will be. I think that they're really going to try and push it as like the PS5 game that'll redefine Final Fantasy.
Bushin says, what if Dreams got a search assist option? Type in what you want, then matches come up with display of their steps on your screen. You can pause and interact with your choices like in easy mode.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
That sounds like a great dream.
Yeah. Mushworks says, oh, you got a pizza with the Yo Noid game. Isn't that just bait for the Noid to steal the pizza? Sean.
I mean, technically, because the Noid, you got to avoid the Noid because it ruins pizzas.
I like his yo-yo. That was cool. Back then.
Getting a lot of Noid lore.
And then Cinnamon says, where's our Mario Kart Maker or level creation update?
It's that what's that PlayStation game? Mod Nation Racers. That's it. It's Mario Kart but with custom
I
tracks.
wonder, you think that would work all right if they did like Mario Kart Maker?
I've only been saying it for years.
Mod Nation Racers was basically that, and it worked fantastic. So I mean, clearly, like people have already done the math. It'll work.
You know what I would like, and you know what I think it would be dope if they made like all like Mario Kart Ultimate. You know, it just has like all.
That's what I'm saying. That'd be sick. All characters from Nintendo are in that game, like during Smash.
Like every track, like in the history, just boom, just that would be the next one. Just put it all in there. And a track editor.
And then last two, Travis and Smash with No More Heroes 3 gameplay reveal. That'd be good. And then Mega Nerd. Oh, that was from Unhelpful Yoda. And the Mega Nerd says Crazy Taxi 2 has the best licensed game soundtrack.
Offspring for life, baby.
Hell yeah.
What was it? The Offspring song in the first Crazy Taxi?
That was the first.
I thought they were in both. That famous one, yeah. But Offspring was in both.
Demonetized.
No, that song got annoying as hell after a while.
No, it didn't. I was blasting it yesterday. No joke. I was playing Final Fantasy and just being like, yeah.
Let's go around here as we finish up. Start with Miss Click. Where can they find you?
Yeah, thanks for having me. You can find me on YouTube as Miss Click Gaming. Otherwise, I'm pretty much live every day on Twitch at MissClick_live. I think we're not normally live on Sundays, but we'll probably be live tomorrow for birthday stuff, and then we'll be back throughout the week. Other than that, just MissClickGaming.com.
Tesla Volta Games asked, do you think the N64 Zelda games need another remaster remake for Switch, and how should it be handled? I'd like to see them just thrown in like how Mario's getting his 35th anniversary supposedly. I'd like to see that with Zelda, just throw like a lot of the older ones just on like a single cart and release it with like a special edition, maybe a cool slip cover, gold slip cover or something. That'd be cool. I'd like that. Let's go to MVG. Happy birthday to MVG, of course.
Thank you. You can find me on Twitter at Modern Vintage G, YouTube Modern Vintage Gamer. On Monday, I've got a Nintendo 64 video coming out, better than the GameCube. So,
wait, hold on.
Fans of the Nintendo 64, check out my video on Monday. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Very cool. And then Sean, where can they find you?
You can find me on RGT85. I might actually, I don't know.
Go on.
Tell us your secrets.
There might be a video tomorrow. That's it.
Okay. All right, easy enough. All right, cool. OJ.
Yeah, you can find me right here on YouTube. I pretty much stream every single day. We do like answering questions, talk about video games. We also play games as well. Got some cool stuff coming up. There's going to be some Xenoblade stuff that I'm working with, so with Nintendo on, so that should be fun. And we also got some other Trials of Mana gameplay. Obviously, we got that review. And also, Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm Road to Boruto. So if you like Naruto, you like anime stuff, I'm going to be doing a bunch of cool stuff with that as well. So check out the channel if you can.
Cool. And then what about Nate?
Find me on Twitter at DirectFeedGames or Nate the Hate, followed by the number 2. I'll have some Streets of Rage 4 gameplay this week. Maybe some other stuff. Nothing like Nirvana Pilot Yume. I'll never upload gameplay of a game like that again. But if you want to see weird graphic novel style sex scenes, you can watch the gameplay. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. And then we have Rukia X-Play Network says they need to make a crazy taxi maker. Everything's just like you're just making makers out of everything.
Just do it yourself.
Okay, there we go.
You make the games now.
The custom, you can make custom stuff in GTA. I'm sure somebody's probably made Crazy Taxi in GTA by now.
Let's Max, where can they find you?
YouTube.com/Dreamcast guy. I got a big final video on Final Fantasy VII coming out Monday. I just wanted to do it. I think it's going to be called like my final thoughts on Final Fantasy VII now that I've done everything. It'll probably be long and juicy and full of spoilers.
Cool. And then what about Jordan?
You can find me in Jordan Fringe. I open Pokemon cards. It's pretty riveting.
All right. And then Evan.
Just find me on Twitter, Kimmerix Project. If I'm doing anything on Twitch or anything really, it's going to go up on there, so you can always follow that.
Okay, very cool. That's going to do it here for Spawncast episode 160. Thanks to everyone who stopped by. Appreciate it. And we'll be back next Saturday night. I don't know if we'll have any reveals for next gen stuff because we'll be into May by then, but I'm thinking like the following week possibly. But we'll be back next Saturday anyway. We'll see you guys then.
Maybe.